So you've been out lately or what?
Yeah, we're going to introduce Keenan right now, but I was going to tell you this weekend I did some gigs and on my tour and flew coach, as always, man of the people. What I don't realize when you fly, like if it's Southwest, you stand there and then they go, almost any airline. I just hear them go, okay, and I go to get on. They go, right now we're just going to start with like little babies and people that need some help. Okay, so they pile on. Now, any veterans from the military, so they got
that's
on.
good.
Then they go first class or platinum gold members. Then they go on, and they're like people with anxiety or any stresses go on. Then it's people that really hate flying go next. People that sort of hate flying. I'm like, I think I'm the last person to get on. And then I got on and stuffed me big rump into a little chair. And I go, they say they're going to clean the plane. It's just one guy with Febreze. I go, anyway, so then okay, bring them on. And then I go, I think there's a dog tooth in my seat back. They go, we can't get every nook and cranny, narc. Why don't you yelp it down a notch, guy? Okay. Anyway, that's the story.
I think they flatter all of us. I used to fly coach. I didn't have any pocket change, but now it's golden, platinum, 5-star members, and you're in the 40th row. But my God, you're walking on triple platinum, man.
Yeah,
nobody doesn't have a great moniker.
I got first on one of the ways, and they go, "There's a first class lounge," and I walk up. They go, "Are you a member?" I go, "Well, I'm flying first class." They go, "What a joke! You can't come in here.
You're not a member."
Yeah.
She said, "Pay downstairs." I went to one of those. She goes, "Pay downstairs," but there was no one there, like no one at the cash register. Yeah. So I went in, had a couple pops, and then snuck out. And saving that $70 was just
I love it.
Something about that.
It's nice.
Sneaking.
The woman that wouldn't let me in says to her friend as I'm leaving, "I love you in grown-ups." I go, "Not enough. This is the time when you do me a solid and go, hey, Higgins, get in there." But also, when I left the plane, I said to the stewardess, because I'm a great guy, I said, "Listen, I want to thank you because, you showed up." I said, "A lot of people are calling in sick lately and planes are delayed, but I made my show and I appreciate it." And she goes, "I know, right? I have COVID and I came in." And I go, "Exactly. That's what I mean. You're trying and you're really doing." All right, Keenan, great guy. A lot of fun with him. Yeah. The longest
running cast member by far, active. We go over his story. He was a child actor and then a child star on Nickelodeon.
He was on Hamburger Town. He was on
Keel and Peele.
He was on Peele and Keenan.
Well, look, we're not good with names, but he was on a lot of stuff on Nickelodeon. Good Burger,
and he was in Kenan and Kel.
But Keenan has his own incredible story, and it took him a long time to kind of get used to getting SNL and being on SNL. And then he evolved, and we go over how he got some great, I think Scared Straight is one of the hardest I've laughed at a sketch.
Scared Straight was great. He also does the, What's Up With That? Is that it?
What's Up With That is so funny. It's hard to describe this, but look it up on YouTube if you don't know it. And I'll make an observation about Keenan. Yeah. He speaks, because I have a lot of Irish relatives, he speaks in poetry, and I hate this cliche, but he's kind of an old soul. He's a laid-back guy, and you always think of him as the kid, kind of, and he's still really young.
Yeah, and he also is smart. We were asking him who he thought would take over the show if Lauren ever left. Interesting answer. And I asked him what it was like being famous at a young age, if that throws you off as a kid. A lot of child stars aren't 1,000% stable, understandably, and I think he's got his head on straight.
He is a de facto producer in a sense that he's been there, had new people show up, go through their whole tenure, they leave, and he's still there. And we asked him what that felt like. But he's always likes when a bunch comes in, because we've talked about it on the podcast. Someone comes in as a single, and then this past year they put 4 or 5 in, and he likes to see them evolve.
Likes to see clumps come in.
Mm-hmm.
It's easier for your brain to have a new person with you. I kind of came in with a chunk. It's hard to come in midstream, like by yourself, December, and then you're just fully lost in that place.
Yeah.
All right, you have a song?
This is a riff I thought of for Keenan. So, let me get kind of a combo.
Yeah,
here.
get comfortable.
Get comfortable.
Toe tapper.
Keenan Thompson coming to the show. Gonna be funny, don't you know? Keenan can't play the guitar when people are watching me.
Yeah, you kind of.
I'm twice as bad when people are watching me. David.
We can fix that.
Sorry. I have 5 people staring at me with their jaws out like they're just...
No, it's fun. Okay,
Is it?
Yeah. Is it?
I like Keenan Thompson.
All right, Keenan Thompson, guys. Hope you like.
Keenan.
Oh, whoa.
What?
Whoa. Not even a minute late.
No.
Hey, alum.
What's up,
You're not
alums?
You're not. We're alums. You're not an alum yet, right? You're still on campus.
Yeah, I know. I'm still fully on campus.
Yeah, once you leave campus. Yeah.
All the campus meals are still free. How are you, gentlemen?
Do you eat
Apologies for missing last time. My sleep schedule has just been crazy lately.
Wait a minute. In today's busy world with all the emails and all this stuff, I recheck. I mean, I can't. I'm never anywhere. I'm not even sure I was supposed to be on this right now until you just showed up.
But you're here.
No worries there.
Where are you broadcasting from? The basement?
This is like undisclosed location in Northern California.
Uh-huh.
It's kind of a basement area.
Oh, right. Yours does look like a basement. Are you okay?
There's stuff in there that should not be seen. So anyway, it's a little haunted house place. There's definitely poltergeists in this house, built in 1912. But anyway, back to you, Keenan.
Hey, Keenan, when you eat down there on the show night, that's free, right? Everything's still free or no?
Yeah, it is free. But, you're also allowed to pay for whatever meal you would like. So there's still freedoms there. Yeah.
I would order in.
Yeah.
I would order in, Danny.
Do you give every season a mental report card, or a vibe card? Because you've been there with so many casts and so many ups and downs and changes and people leaving that was your favorite cast member, all this, the normal drama.
Yeah.
So right now, what's your vibe card?
Right now, it's super strong. We've been having a strong season. I think the new people all came in, taking big swings together. It's nice to see when they get to come in groups as opposed to like one or twos trying to figure it out, you know what I mean? And being kind of lost for a couple of years or whatever. And being in the super duper background for a while, they got to come in at a time when we pretty much needed them. You know what I mean? So they've all kind of been pretty prevalent, I think, this season as far as like getting introduced to America and stuff like that or whatever. But
we talked a lot to bridge cast members who came in and aren't really told anything because they're just alone and they're at the show and no one tells them, where the bathroom is or what time is dinner. It's like,
I bet Keenan tells them more than the higher ups.
I would go to Keenan.
Yeah, I try to tell them whatever they want to know because, I had that same experience. I was super, like you said, nobody explains it to you. So like I showed up Tuesday at like 6:30, not knowing that I should have been there. You know what I mean? Early, I was just like, I don't know. I'll just go.
So
when
you
I
get hired and you just show up.
Yeah, nobody told me a time. The times didn't come into play until like Wednesday or some shit like that.
And you were Monday. The only one coming in when you came in? You were just added in as a single? Or were you had anyone with you?
I came in with Finesse and JB was writing and Jordan Black was writing.
Okay, so... Definitely you guys are the new ones.
Keenan, I did that when I came in. I did, I do like coming in with a clump. I had a few people, we sort of had a chunk of people that are described from my era, thank God. But when I came in, I remember Schneider once, Schneider and Downey called me on a Thursday night from a rewrite meeting and said, "Where the fuck are you?" And I go, "Well, I didn't get anything on."
Right.
And they go, "You still got to be here." And I go, Well, no one tells me anything. I go, that's like a 16-hour rewrite day, as you guys know. And I didn't go the full week before. No one said a word. And this is the second week I missed. And then they go, get down here. Downey goes, get down here. I go, oh, okay. I felt intrusive. Like if I went in, they'd say, why are you here? Did you think you got something on?
I love the mystery.
It's weird.
Did Lauren ever say to you, just as a non sequitur, still with the show? Because you would just...
still here.
Still here, but still with the show. It's like season 4, and he walks by you.
Oh, look who's still here. Yeah, you get little asides like that. It's more so like right before you're about to perform a very personal sketch that you're terrified about. He's done this literally to me. He's like, this should be funny, right? Okay, have fun. It's like, shit, is this not been funny? All this time?
It'd be really nice if this if it was funny.
Yeah.
I know. His dry sense of humor, but it does kind of relax you. It does. I like that.
It's a Jedi mind trick because then I go overperform, basically.
What was in your early tenure there? Was there a sketch that you were particularly nervous about that, like, if I land this, I'm going to break through in a different way? And then Lauren said something, or when did you feel like you had a little bit of a foothold on SNL Mountain, kind of or is it right away?
No, it was not right away at all. It took a while. Okay. I didn't get like my own personal ideas on till like, 5th season kind of thing and on. I was servicing, writers and stuff like that and trying to be a good, performance cast member. But my writing was really slacking, because I was kind of learning on the fly. I didn't have that responsibility at, Nickelodeon. We were just kids, and I had, good on-camera presence or whatever, and that was enough to kind of skate me past not knowing how to write or knowing how to like collaborate with like full adults. You know what I'm saying? I was 25, and there was like real adults in the room with like real consequence if I wasted their time, kind of thing. So it took a while to like feel comfortable, asking people for their time or to take a swing on. Right. An idea or whatever. Yeah.
Did you find a confidant or a writer or someone that you started to kind of talk to or vent to? Or
Brian Tucker came in early, like we didn't, specifically write, something that recurred necessarily, but we definitely had a rapport very early because, he loves the black zeitgeist, you know what I'm saying? So we get along. And me and Colin shared an office for like 8 years. So that was good times.
Nice. So Brian, he became head writer, or was he head writer when you came in?
No, he graduated, and I think I had a hand in helping that with our little "What's Up with That" ventures.
Fixing time. What I mean? What's Up with That is a crusher, dude. I just watched a few of them, and
thank you,
man. That's funny as shit. That's like an old school kind of just. I start laughing, and you don't really laugh at every sketch. Sometimes you look at a sketch and you go, "That was good,
right?
That was funny," but to start laughing and going, what the fuck is going on?
Well, when something is funny with the sound off or it's visual, you go in the song and you've got Sudeikis does that thing. Mm-hmm. You're doing your thing. There's no real joke. It's a celebration and it stops. It's what I would call an irresistible sketch.
1,000. The only joke in it is my favorite.
I love that
by far is fucking Bill playing
Lindsey
Buckingham. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
And he's got so much to say in the beginning, and we're going to get to it, I swear. And then we never do. And, I always think he's mad at me, and then he's not mad at me. It's my fucking favorite.
And Bill Hader is just funny. Without lines, he's just fun. One of those guys.
One of the greatest. Funny. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like it's not easy to perform in silence. You know what I mean? You have to be a great mime, kind of acting like a Martin Short or something.
What's nice about an ensemble, Dana knows this, is like Kenan, it takes a while to learn how to write a sketch. I think people realize that there's no class for it. So you're really learning by watching, and it takes a long time. But if you're a writer, you have the respect enough when you're there to be able to say, I have this sketch which pretty much services me, but I'm going to have Mike Myers come in and do 2 lines. You get a guy like that, and he will come in and do his best 2 lines or understate it or say, Dana, come in and do this. And they do it because it's an ensemble, and you go, what a gift. I get these great guys. and they are just pros. Walk in, boom, boom. What do you need for the sketch? Play it under, play it over. What do you need from me? And I'll get out. And then that was sort of a power trip in a way too. You go, wow, I have all these guys at my disposal. And the same thing you're saying is that you get to bring Bill Hader, who's so good, and you go, am I wasting this guy's time? But no, he comes in, gets his laughs.
Even talk. Sudeikis doesn't say a word.
He does the running man.
And he's the biggest star of the sketch. Like, after we rehearsed it the first time and he was sweating harder than I was like, oh, this is going to be dynamite. You know what I'm saying? Because
I could tell. I was my shoulders. They are all you guys are moving so much. He's moving the most. Well, it's just like a fucking workout.
It's not overtly like a funny dance. There's something about it. I couldn't really describe riding the bicycle.
Yeah.
It's just something. It's actually really good.
Yes.
And of course, he's playing it so serious. So yeah, that's another.
I mean,
it's like a
technically black dances that a white guy is doing very well, basically.
Yeah,
so good,
and he looks funny. I think Zach was in one of them playing the two-sided flute. Am I crazy?
Yeah.
My God, yes.
Yeah, Zach.
Two-sided flute. That's when it's just like, what more like ridiculous stuff can we do? And that was one of the harder things to do, was finding something for the host to do that would stand out. So like. That's one of the detriments of writing at SNL. You'll have this great idea that works for you and your friends, and then you're like, oh shit, like what does the host do in it? And if they don't have much to do in it, it might be on the chopping block, like
right.
It's their night, so they're not necessarily going to lean into
it. Sorry to interrupt, but Lauren also drops those subtle notes, maybe Fred Armisen is the guy, or, Mike could be, he's kind of guiding the show that way, but it's always good to make friends with the host.
Yeah.
Or just get a relationship with them. Like, what are you feeling? How are you doing? What do you want? What do you need?
That's the game, that and like, of course, satisfying the family. Like you were saying, David, like you have all these people at your disposal in the cast, but you also have these brilliant makeup people, brilliant wig people. Like, our technical crew is insane. I don't know if y'all saw Pedro Pascal's episode, but they did a Mario Kart thing that was insane. The graphics were crazy good, and this is a 24-hour, 30-hour fucking turnaround. It's just magical up there. So,
and they turn you into Kendrick Perkins recently.
Yeah, whenever they want,
Dude, Kendrick was one of the funniest things I just saw.
It's one of the best impressions of the last few years. There's something so fucking funny about that thing.
I watch that show every day.
And that shit feels like we did it a couple of years ago, because, it's weird when you have to do impressions before they're a household name. Like we tried Steve Harvey before he was doing Family Feud, and it just didn't work because, not enough people like knew what was funny about Steve Harvey, basically. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, right.
And then Kendrick Perkins was like, he wasn't big enough yet. Like, I guess he hadn't, burned enough people yet to become famous enough. Like, after that racist outburst, like now everybody knows him, and now they're looking back at like an old impression, like, oh my God, it's magical. So there's so many ways to score, and there's so many ways to get burned. And I don't know, it's a crazy job experience. Like, look who I'm talking to and like who I'm family with. You know what I mean? Like, it's such a blessed existence to be a part of. So, a
lot of the people who've come on the show,
thank you.
I might be one of them, but because there's no other experience like it experientially and emotionally, Rockefeller Center, Lorne Michaels, that 8H, a lot of people kind of said, I'm not quite sure why I left. Maybe 2 more years would have been better, or 3 more years. So are you the smartest guy in show business in a way? Like, if this is kind of the most intense things you can do on the planet, and most overtly just creative because you can think of something Thursday and it's on live TV. When did your forever plan? When did you kind of go, I think I'll go season 7, I'll go 8. How did it evolve? It's 20 seasons now, right? Or more?
Yeah, this is 20. I mean, 20. It just kept rolling, couple year deal after couple year deal. You know what I mean? Like, it was never more than 2 or 3, like, all right. And then all of a sudden you're at the end of that 3 years, like, all right, should we extend? Like, what else is going on or whatever? And it's like, there's other stuff going on, but it doesn't necessarily have to take time away from us. Like, there's a way to do both. And it kind of just kept working like that. It's like,
that's like a new world.
Cycle. Yeah, it was just a new
you don't have to quit. You can go do a show.
Exactly.
And I wasn't either or before.
Yeah, I wasn't the first one. You know, Fred like did a whole Portlandia run while he was still on the show. You know, and like
that's right.
You know, 80 did the same thing with Shrill. And
if they let you,
yeah, if they allow it, and
now they do, I think.
And yeah, I think it's a newer, concept for people to allow for, an actor to be in two places at once, basically.
It's generous,
and also generous, if it's part of the Broadway video or you're part of the show, even when Lauren is producing and it makes allowances for that. And Lauren, when I was there, was just starting with SNL Studios or his production company, so it's kind of a whole big ecosystem. I just wanted to ask you about so you're there, you're doing really well. Someone comes in, stays 7 years and leaves, and you're still there. Like emotionally, you must get really attached to people because it does bond people so hard. And then who was you probably a lot of people who's like you're sorry to see them go because you had so much fun with them, and then and then you meet the next person you're gonna love. So.
I mean, all of them. Like in the beginning, like Jeff Richard is not Jeff Richard, Jeff
Goldblum.
No, he was Jeff. I'm fucking blanking on his name. It might have been Jeff Richards is Tina's husband. Right?
No, Jeff Richards was a performer, right?
Mm-hmm. So it was that's Jeff Richards, blonde hair kind of dude. Yeah.
Yeah, impressionist.
Yeah. So Jeff Richards was there, and then he wasn't in my first season, and I missed him. Wasn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just because we had like a backstage bond, he used to make me laugh and stuff like that, but he had a rough go at it, and I even missed him. You know what I'm saying, in the beginning, and it just never got easier. I think it was like Jimmy's last season or something too. So just like I didn't necessarily build that strong of a friendship with him, but he was always nice. And then all of a sudden there was it was a different show, without, a Jimmy Fallon presence or whatever. That dude was like a rock star. And I was like, man, I wish I had more time. Were you
on with us? I can't remember.
Yeah, I was there. I wasn't on camera yet.
I left in 93. Were you there?
Yeah, I was still doing. Yeah, I was driving. Actually, I drove you several nights, Dana. Yeah, I still remember. But yeah, it sucks every time, because we're in the trenches together for so many hours. So many different emotional experiences and stuff like that. And I've been lucky enough to be, in some casts with some very cool people, so you just develop strong relationships, and then all of a sudden they're not there anymore, and it's very sporadic when you see them again.
I got a hard question, Dana. Who's his starting five from when you were on the show, since you've been on the show?
Well,
starting five.
He probably had a few, but you did have. Well, go ahead for all-time starting five. That's a lot of cast members
from 20 years. No, since he's been on.
Oh,
that's a tough one. I just know that
it might be all ladies because my sisters have been insane. Like Kate, Cecily, Amy,
Maya,
Tina, Maya. That's over.
Kristen.
That's exactly just with five is not fair. So
that's five are used up right away.
That's what I'm saying. So it's just been some powerhouse performers, and I don't know, man. It's such a great front row seat to the silly. I'm always laughing on camera or off camera. I can't take it seriously, especially 20 years later. It's it's not a job anymore. You know what I mean? I don't care what happens.
What you do, which is so enticing, is that you don't break, but there's that sense of joy underneath everything on your face.
Yes.
And where you're in some way, we're doing something crazy, But to your point about the women, I talked with Lauren about that because there were issues around are the women getting enough parts. Then the women in recent times started playing a lot of the men as well. Also being dominant on that front. So we definitely, it was a very enlightened show that way. But the women you've mentioned, are just absolutely brilliant. And then, of course, we all have our other favorites too. Bill Hader, who you might be nice to hear, we put him on the spot. Who's the greatest guy, just because it's a fun game like the NBA, who's better this. And Bill Hader said, Keenan.
That's crazy.
As the best cast member of all time. So that's flat.
That's insane.
Well, he just said, what?
That's insane.
He just said, well, there's different ways of looking at this, but you're there, and it seems like, when did you meet peak relaxation? Because it seems like it's been a while since I call it the comfort factor. I think Bowen Yang has it already. Mm-hmm. Like they come in, it's crunchy, it scores. If there's a cavalcade of people doing a thing, landing some shtick.
Crunchy.
I think peak was,
land.
Yeah, I think peak was around Scared Straight, when I had an idea that was coming from me and was working on the show, as far as, intelligence, or, are the jokes heady enough or new enough, or not just for Black culture or whatever, kind of just for everybody? Is it like broad enough? And that one was like the first one where we really nailed it down. And thanks to Colin, man, because, I brought the Black side and he brought, the structure side, basically.
Colin Jost.
Yeah. Kind of like how me and Brian work, Brian Tucker. So
I was going to bring that up because I do think that's another one of yours that just really pops off the television.
Oh, thank you.
Because you have the jokes and you're going, I don't know if for people who are just hearing about it, it's juvenile delinquents kind of getting scared by a hardened criminal, verbally, to make them not become criminals or something like that.
Using the plots of 80s movies.
And within it, you're so committed that on the air show with the adrenaline, like you're grabbing people and you're so in their face and they're tilting back. There's a sense of danger, almost like, did anyone get hurt? Because you really...
I think their eardrums were hurting for sure, because I was hollering, and I wanted to be right close to where, you could see my face and their face next to each other. So I would circle around behind them. So I know I was yelling in their ears way too much.
And what would be like the entree into that? You think you're cool? I mean, can you just do one of the lines, maybe even half speed? Like when you first show up, it's like when he first shows
up is like, on your feet. All right. Well, he says, all right, here it comes, coming through the door. All right, here it comes. On your feet. Now sit down. I said on your feet. So
and they're just innocent, scared guys.
Yeah, just chaos from the jump. And shout out to Sudeikis once again, because another nothing ass role that he would just make a meal out of. Like at the end of the sketch, he hops back up on the desk and settles in or whatever, and just made a meal out of being that kind of Keystone Cop or whatever. Just fucking so much fun, man. And
because you're knocking down all the...
Sorry, brilliant. What?
Yeah, I'm sorry, but to Sudeikis, you're knocking down all these boundaries and being inappropriate. And he's like, hey.
Yeah, you can't take that. Really my bad, Chief. Show me where the line is at.
Sorry, what were you going to say?
Dana, I have this sketch up because I was watching before I came in, and I have it freeze frame, and it's on you and Sudeikis looks like Phil Hartman. He's got his hair back, he's got glasses, he's got a mustache. I'm like, this is probably something Phil would have played.
He can play the regular guy and make it so funny.
Yeah.
He's like Phil that way.
Yeah, man. And we had
good-looking everyman.
Yeah. You guys laid out such an amazing template for us to follow. The everyday man, the impressionist, the voice, the quirk, the physical, the this. So by the time we got there, we kind of knew if we could possess any of those talents, and then someone else in the cast could be, another person like that. We knew we had a full, fledged kind of force, basically, because we were covering all those aspects of society. There is a dad kind of a character. There's a,
game
a
show
goofball.
host.
Yeah. There's a guy that's tearing the house down, you know what I mean? And there's a this, that, and the other. And then, of course, there's women,
Women, what always kind of, I sometimes have a sense of memory about when you're doing the sketch all week and you have the practice show. It's the air show, and then the band's playing. Everyone's psyched up, and you're going behind the slats, and you got whatever your goofy thing is. And then you might see Bill Hader or Amy Poehler come over, and they've got their goofy costume on, and you're just all waiting to go on and do it for the live. Yeah. That's kind of those bonding moments. Like you're scared, you're excited. But when you get into a rhythm with the cast, and you've been through several incarnations, it gets really fun. Everyone's getting very playful because the audience is loving the cast and everyone's getting more confident. So
there was nothing I enjoyed more than watching other cast members scoring, especially in their earlier years. Like I remember when Kate used to do Whiskers Are We, and it was like always in that last 10-minute window. So a lot of us would be done for the night, and we could just like sit and watch her just fucking destroy with the wildest, weirdest characters, you know, or concepts, you know, kind of ever. And it was just like, man, I'm so like, it's like being a proud parent, but like, or being a proud sibling. You know what I mean? It's like, look at my little sister out there scoring, you know, like as big as anybody, you know. It was always really a lot of fun. So I like to root for everybody on the team, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to get mine. Like I get mine, you know what I'm saying? I want them to get theirs.
He was in roughly 1,500 sketches. What are your favorite 200?
It's up. Any alien?
You have 10 seconds.
Any alien?
All the aliens were always a lot of fun to play. Just because it's like impressive how they can throw an alien head on you in like 3 minutes or 7 minutes, whatever it is. It's never super long, and then it comes right off, and you can go be somebody else. But yeah, I don't know, man. Saying live from New York the first time was fucking exhilarating, you know, and it's been exhilarating each time after, you know. It's just get the party started, but also recognize where you are. You know what I'm saying? You just said live from New York is Saturday night, and people are clapping, and now the show is happening, and like all these cameras are dancing, and like that fucking famous person has been behind that wall for 4 minutes waiting for their moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're listening to you too.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
They're waiting for their cue.
Yeah.
Fuck, I used to see it. I didn't say it, I don't think, till I came back and hosted, but I remember saying it, going, this is what Chevy Chase said. This is like when you were a kid going, live from New York. And sometimes they'd yell it, sometimes they'd just say it.
Yeah.
But it's turned into sort of a yelling, exciting thing to get out there. Because like, here we go.
1,000%.
Yeah.
It's iconic.
Yeah, that's the host part of it. I know you can't say favorite host, but a host that pops to mind for you. I mean, for me, it was Charlton Heston, or you know, these like asymmetrical people.
I always say like Hanks and Chappelle. You know, those are two guys that usually come in and like have really, really big shows. You know, as far as like the behind the scenes people that show up to kind of want to witness the night. You know, like people hear like, Dave Chappelle's in
for those big ones.
Yeah. And Hanks was like that in the 80s or early 90s when he
even back with us.
He came in with
the nicest guy in the world, but like a fucking strong artist, you know, like real meticulous, like damn near method, as far as like his approach to comedy, even, you know, like comedy should be very specific, and it's like, it's supposed to be this rhythm and this reference is supposed to, you know what I mean? And he's always like fishing and trying to keep that old, you know, world of like us ad-libbing 24 hours a day to find funny moments and plug them in or not, but just to kind of like push through the day, you know, entertaining each other. And that feels very like old school, you know what I mean? Like the new kids are just in their phones, basically. Everybody's like, as soon as we're done, you know, we take a break from rehearsal, everybody picks their phones up.
Well, Tom Hanks has no movie star ego at all. And
it's crazy.
He loves coming into SNL and being part of an ensemble. And he, Mr. Short-Term Memory was one of his iconic sketches.
Oh, right.
He's probably the only one who could land it, because it was about commitment. You know, Will Ferrell, there's certain commitment freaks, but he's up there. And he was always fun. And I told him, I said, I felt we had another cast member coming, not necessarily a host when he was around. You know, just his whole vibe. Yeah.
And it's great when cast members host the show. It's like a week off for us.
Because they know the whole drill.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because you go, when they leave and come back, you're like, it's like an all-cast show.
It is. It's the best. It's the best week ever. It's like, there's no egos.
I was telling Dana, there was times when we were having a run of hosts that weren't quite as famous, like it's the second lead from a TV show or the third lead. And I was like looking around the room going, I think Mike and Dana are more famous than the host.
For a beat.
For a run there, it's like there was some people getting very famous on the show, and you thought, oh my God, the host must feel crazy coming in here. Sometimes they just sit down and go, I want to do Wayne's World. And you go, oh, okay.
Do you have a starstruck host for you at all?
Struck by me?
No, that you would go a little starstruck, like
that. I was starstruck. Oh yeah. I mean, Eddie was crazy.
Yeah, Eddie
that was just crazy. You know what I mean? Sandler was like that too. You know, I'm always enamored by that guy. Like even when we're like shooting movies or whatever, and like, it feels like I should be more comfortable because it's not my first time around him, but I'm just such a fan, you know, and it's the same with you guys, you know what I mean? Like it's off-putting, you know, for you guys to like really be in people's presence because it's like, you know, we hold you in such high regard and you bring us so much joy. It's like, oh shit, now this person is like in front of me. What do I say to them? Like I hope I'm not wasting their time, or I hope I can make them laugh. You know what I mean? Because like if you talk to Seinfeld, he doesn't want to like talk. He wants to like be entertained. You know what I'm saying? Like he wants to find jokes. You know what I mean? So it's like
he's always on a joke hunt.
1,000%. So he's like, let me not waste his time.
I like it. Yeah.
It's the same for you guys. Like that 40th was crazy. Just like watching people, you know, come in different interims and like do their bits and shit. But these are all people that I just grew up, you know, idolizing or whatever, but never feeling like I would ever meet or, you know, be bros with or alumni or any of that. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot to take in. So I understand what it is for the, you know, the general public to like bump into you guys and not know what to say. It's like, holy shit. Like, what I get a picture or, you know, give me a dick punch. I don't know what to do.
I always tell people ask me, what should I say to a celebrity? And I said, be very, very specific. You know, if they ran into you, they go, I love and Scared Straight when you and Sudeikis have that little powwow after you on the guys. And then you're like, oh, that's a real fan. But you're 1,000% in the club. You know, you're not only just on Saturday Night Live. Now everyone, you know, you have these sketches that are, you know, part of our history. But I had the same thing with Dan Aykroyd. I was copying his impression with a little tape recorder to do Jimmy Carter in college. And then I walk into Lorne's office. I don't know if it's ever happened to you. And there's Dan Aykroyd. And I didn't know what to say to him.
At all.
I said, too much. Have you had a celebrity? I walked in there once and Mick Jagger was sitting there. Lorne never gives you a warning. Did you walk into Lorne's office and have somebody famous sitting there or a cast member or just?
Yeah, I want to say it was like McCartney in there one time or somebody like that. It's like, Jesus Christ. Like
you're not ready.
No, what am I going to say to a Beatle?
I love all what's up that, you know, because he keeps dancing and singing. He never really interviews the people. He never says a word.
They want to talk, but they never get to talk. It's brilliant. It's like, oh my God, please stop talking to me. I don't know what to do.
Was it poor writing? They never talk.
Yeah.
And the dancing man, you know, with the bicycle guy. What's he all about?
And the three-piece suit. And everything is just a long suit. It looks great.
One time, Lorne called me out of the blue, which why would Lorne call me? But I was on the show, and it was toward the end of my run.
I love Lorne.
And he goes, David, you're good on your feet. Do you think you could think of jokes if Mick Jagger won something and he has to think of things to say? And I'm like, at an award show or something? He goes, hang on. He goes, hello? And I go, he puts Mick Jagger. I'm not even getting my head around what's going on. And then I go, oh, hey. And then he's like, basically like, go. I'm like, go what? Give you my jokes I haven't thought of yet?
It's too much pressure. He did that to me one time when we were doing a What's Up With That and like a guest dropped out. So like the second seat is usually just someone that really just sits there and doesn't say anything at all. Yeah. And it's like reserved for any kind of famous person that wants to be there or that we could get. Yeah. And then like that person dropped out. So like Robin Williams was just around and he was like, you should ask Robin. I was like, I should ask Robin. I should go ask Robin Williams to just sit in my sketch and not say a word. Like,
Jesus.
Seriously? And he was like, yeah. I was like, shit.
And Robin would have been cool with it.
Yeah, no, I went and talked. I didn't even finish my sentence. He was just like, absolutely, like whatever. You know what I mean? Like he was just an angel. So yeah, that was crazy.
Yesterday, my brush with fame yesterday, Dana, was a guy when I'm walking around goes, he comes up behind me, hey, and I see him running up with his camera. And he goes, are you David Bowie? And I go, yes. And then he goes, okay. And then I go tell everyone you met David Bowie. But he knew me. Why this guy was like 23 and even knew who David Bowie was to say the wrong name. But it was kind of funny.
It's funny.
Bless him. Don't even correct him. Just
David, you used to sign autographs as me when we looked more close in age in my boyish stage. That's Lauren always says that. I never went boyish. Boyish. But and then I would sign autographs for a period of time as David. And now
why not? Just kid it.
Now
quicker,
they just come up and say to me, "You're no David Spade," and walk away. And that's Marcy Klein.
You guys ever like bump back into people that you did that to?
Oh, that they realize. Yeah, sometimes. But they don't even know they're saying it when they say it sometimes. They just think they're saying the right thing.
Right.
So they don't even know they did anything wrong.
Yeah.
Hey, were you there for Margot Robbie when she hosted?
Yeah, she was so nice. We did this sketch that Bobby wrote, Bobby Moynihan, shout out. And it was like, you know that song, Bow, Bow.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
Was she a teacher?
Yeah, she was like the hot librarian.
That's what I'm talking about. I saw
taking layers off and just getting like grosser and grosser. Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
When I was watching this day, and I'm thinking, okay, first of all, Margot Robbie seems like a really good, fun, good-spirited person that would go along with whatever. Mm-hmm. And when you go on that show, of course, it's better if you just say, sure, let me try this. But, being pretty, and then I go, oh, she's just like a stripping hot teacher that you dream would strip.
Yeah.
And so she starts stripping, and I'm like, I'm kind of weird out she would do this,
Right.
But of course, the joke comes in where she lets her hair down, and then she starts pulling out the extensions, and then she's basically she's bald with like little strings of hair, and then it just gets worse, and the guys go from being excited to going, oh, gross. It's all like kind of slow motion.
Yeah, like
and
please
they're
stop.
All slowly turned off by her. Very fun. I like to see when a big star, like she's a pretty big star, and to come in and
huge star.
She's a huge star.
And it took a while. Like that was not a quick shoot.
Yeah. Well, she's a bald cap on, which is already Dana used to wear them all week just to get ready for Saturday. But
sometimes I had them on so much I would keep it on. I keep it on the whole week. I had a wig for my own hair. So I didn't have to get one on Saturday. Yeah, I just kept it all week. Dana, you could have it taken off and put it on again. No, Lauren, it's so fucking painful with the pins and the glue.
Do they do it, Keenan? Like if anybody does a bald cap, or a host, let's say, it used to take about 45 minutes. So if they do it after dress, do they take it off to make their hair nice for the monologue, or they just put their own hair as a wig on?
The host, I feel like the host they'll usually take it off.
Shit.
So they'll have that natural shit. It's a lot of work on those makeup guys. Like
fucking, you're nervous. You're sitting in a chair with energy, going, "Fuck, I want to get out of here. I want to go over my lines." And they're like, "Just sit tight."
Scrubbing on your forehead,
scrubbing the glue off, and ripping your hair out. And you're like, "Motherfucker!"
It's sophisticated because you can do on a movie. Yeah, it's grinding and glue and pins. How's it feel? You just say, "Fine, it's fine." Any pain? No, it's all right.
Let's just
not
go
gonna
do this.
Do it. You don't have to work
Let's
for that.
just go do this.
Let me bore Keenan with one more sketch. Passing out on the slingshot. I think I was right before we were going to talk to you last. It was the night before. It was maybe Woody Harrelson.
Yeah.
Was it you? What was that one?
That was me and Woody. I think, that was Woody Harrelson. Was that Woody Harrelson?
I think so.
Yes, it was. Yeah. That was fun.
And was it you excited to go on this? It was very physical and very...
Yeah, I was like, oh, come on, you guys. We got to ride the slingshot. You can't back out now. Don't look like a scaredy cat in front of your girlfriend. Like all that typical old, dumb, misogynistic kind of tone. Like, come on, the fellas will handle this kind of thing or whatever. But yeah, it was just an homage to all those slingshot videos because...
And what happened? You black out right away, right?
Yeah, it's usually the guy that's like excited about it, that huffs and puffs too much in the beginning and it just passes out. Yeah.
Because all I kept thinking is, how do you see the cue cards? Because you got to close your eyes.
My squint game was on.
Your squint game was good.
You look like your eyes are closed to be reading the cards. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Damn.
And then like when it was time to talk, like I was awake, so I could like actually look, but I was squinting to see the monitor so I could tell like when
do you wake up
like,
again? Yeah.
And when I'm like bouncing up and down, if that's matching or whatever kind of thing.
Can we, here's a little side thing. You're singing on the show and your collaborations with Chris Redd, who I was doing a couple Laugh Factories with, just knew him very casually. And I didn't even know he was trying for SNL. And also suddenly he's on SNL, but it seems like you guys had I was Boys to Men, Come Back Barack. You had some great songs. Did you sing from the beginning, or because I can't sing at all? I can fake sing, but you seem like you can sing.
No, I was, a musical theater kid necessarily. So I sing with others, a lot more or a lot better than I would say I sing by myself. But, for some reason, like I involved myself in the warm up even. So like I have to sing a warm up song before the shows. But besides that, like, I'm more of a sing for the sketch as opposed to like, I got a single coming out.
like joke singing kind of.
Yeah.
When the audience is sitting there waiting for the show, sometimes I stand up or, what Dennis Miller would tell jokes. So what song do you sing generally? Obviously it's upbeat, or I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Here comes the show will be on in 10 minutes.
We sing A Change Is Gonna Come.
How's that
kidding. That song, I was born by the river in a little tent. Very sad song. Like, I think in Malcolm X is him going to his death. Was the song that they chose in that movie. So no, we sing. It was "Give Me Some Lovin'" for a long time, but now it's just like other like Teddy Pendergrass songs.
That's super upbeat.
And it's very upbeat. Yeah. And Michael Che starts it off with some jokes and then introduces us, and I go up there with, Heidi, Ego, and Chloe now, but it's always been the version of lady cast members to sing with me.
That's funny.
Yeah,
that's before
the show starts.
Before the show, yeah.
So you've already got them on your side in a way.
I think me and Norm used to stand
try to break that ice.
Yeah, I like your idea better. I didn't want to be seen in the crowd before I went up, but I'd go up there and Marcy would come pound on my door and go, "Lauren wants you to go up, do some stand up, go." And I'm like, it's a little trickier than that.
They never gave you a warning, David. They never gave you a warning. Go now.
Go, or you're going to get fired.
Martian. Put the wig on and get on the fucking stage.
And and would you do it or would you push back?
Fuck, I never pushed back once.
Just jump out there.
I'm the biggest pussy in America. Yeah, I went out there and then I do it. And Lauren's like, "Can we count that as a sketch?" I'm like, "No." You were in one thing. No, it was before the show started.
Do you do a Lauren impression?
Everybody does.
Everyone in this oral history of Saturday Night Live, even
only because
Lauren
I've
has
never
an
met
impression
anyone
of himself.
like that. You know what I'm saying? And like
no one has.
And I'd seen Austin Powers a million times before I actually got the job. So then I went there and I'm like, so wait, he's not admitting that this is that? Because this is totally that.
That sounds like a new sketch. This is that. This is totally that.
This is totally that. Yeah.
Well, did you have any Laurenisms? We sometimes collect, things that he says to people. The initial one was never underestimate the value of water is a kind of a touchstone for a lot of people.
Yeah. And he also has a way of summing up large occurrences in the world. It's like, because Elvis was a twin, so it's that. It was like, what
that's
exactly?
A good one.
What does that
yes.
mean? Yeah.
Hitler was a painter.
Yeah.
Hitler was a painter, and so it's all that.
So it's that.
World War II. What?
I never know what that is. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what you mean. You're
who should take over for Lauren? Keenan, do you have any ideas? Who's good enough to handle that job?
Higgins, hands down. Higgins.
You
know what I mean?
I have him on a list here. Steve Higgins.
Yeah.
I mean, Higgins is a no-brainer. But Eric Kenward is out there, like Aaron Doyle, the people that have been there for a longer period of time. I think Colin, myself, I don't know, Che, we can all handle it. If we all wanted to stick around and keep it going.
If they approach you?
Oh, yeah. Why not? It'll keep me in New York. It'll keep me, in a stable environment, which is hard for an actor.
I'm just gonna write your name down for a second. I'm just keeping it.
Write it down. Put it in the universe. Thanks.
That's great. I think you. We don't have pens. I don't have it. I'm disorganized. Seth Meyers and Tina Fey
all of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anybody that's especially been a person with a pencil in their back pocket for a week, fishing for jokes and knows the structure of the show. So Seth, Tina, any one of them, I think, that have had a good run at it and enjoy it, they can get it,
Well, you're interesting because you're 20 years. You know every in and out. You know what's going on. If you just perked your ears up to budgets and stuff, you could figure it out pretty
but there's also like the other element where Lorne is such a rock star and he has so many like, pick up the phone favor kind of, moments that he can make happen for the show.
With the network or the studio, just deals with them. You know, and
keeps them away from us, keeps us protected. Like he's just an OG. So someone that can continue that kind of thing and like make it a safe space for us, and then also make a phone call and get a legend in there at the last minute if it needs to be that.
Yes, there's a lot of off-label things that he's doing that go beyond executive producer, and I think he does always develop a fondness for his cast members. You can feel it, I mean, he's talked very nicely about you, almost in a paternal way with other cast members. He becomes the de facto dad that no one ever had or something, even though I'm 3 years older than him. He's still kind of my dad. No.
That's so crazy.
Yeah. But
that must be a crazy dynamic because he's the one we all kind of turn to, because if he's not happy, like, the shit's not getting on. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he's not fucking with it, then that's the end all be all. So I've gone to him for a lot of different, nothing pertaining to the show kind of advice, because he just gives that air basically with like, if you have a question or, if you have a situation, we can help you with it. Nothing's too,
go ahead,
too terrible that we can't fix it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And when I was sort of, you call it wilderness years or raising a family, whatever you want to call it. But then I ran into Lorne. He's just like, he said, everyone knows who you are. It's just Lorne in a very supportive little, like, whenever you're ready, you just can do it some more. But yeah, he's brilliant at those kind of, just been there, seen it all. And then
he was like a stepdad to me because he used to ground me and hit me.
Okay. You want to talk?
That actually was Jim Downey.
About that hitting part?
No, a lot of people did.
Let's break some news. We got a trend. We got a trend, man.
Handful.
You were like the spoiled child. David's like a little boy, and you have to take care of him.
Dana, will you bounce him on your knee?
David need a spanky.
David, he need a little spanky, and he's in a timeout. Don't talk to him.
I'm not going to use any sort of object or spatula. I'm going to go full hand.
Yeah,
but it'll be just on the bottom.
Skin on skin.
That's good for Lorne. Skin on skin.
I have a question about when you were on Nickelodeon. Is being a Nickelodeon like is it like kind of a little bit of a rock star? Because is it a different kind of fame, right? Is it hard to handle when you're younger and a lot of people know you?
No, I mean, Nickelodeon wasn't as popular as it is now, I don't think, back in those days. So we were damn near off the network before we were, super duper popular from it, because it was cable and you had to have cable, you know what I'm saying, to even watch the shows type thing. So it wasn't like a bunch of kids that were able to like just request what's on their cable bill every month. So Nickelodeon was still kind of breaking out. And then while we were there, it built into this, kind of worldly thing, because they started putting channels in like all these different countries and stuff like that. So that took a while for it to grow. And then by the time we were like in our mid-20s, we were like pretty famous from it. But the work was 4 or 5 or 6 years old at least.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Just for people who don't know who are listening, just so we can just touch on it for a second, because no one ever knows everything. You think everybody knows that you were an actor.
My name is Kenan Thompson.
And you first, your social security number is 453.
Hailing from full Atlanta, Georgia.
How old were you when you first performed on television?
On television, I did my first commercial, I guess, at 12-ish, but I never saw it. But it was pretty awesome. It was for a fried chicken restaurant. I'm very proud of that.
Do you remember your line?
Yes, I do.
It's delicious.
Damn near close. So I was fishing. I was fishing with my granddad, and I say, "Grandpa, the fish ain't biting today." And he handed me a piece of chicken, and I bite it, and I say, "I like this kind of biting." Oh, come on.
Who wrote that?
Fucking classic.
Kenan is putting his fingers to his mouth in the chef's kiss.
That is a classic.
It says on a research. Kenan, it says on a research, you were a fan of The Price is Right, what you called your first love, and it shaped your acting style. What kind of acting is going on?
I have that down too. Like, come on,
people are taking some serious liberties there. I just said I liked the show. I didn't say anything about it shaping my. There's no acting.
And it shaped your entire life.
Your acting style, like, oh boy.
It started my obsession with the television. Is what it was. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure.
Colorful.
I used to glue that shit.
Yeah.
And I was having sons that were watching Nickelodeon in the 90s. So you were famous to them. I'd heard about you before then, SNL. Kenan and Kel, I think, was one of the shows you did.
That's right. Kenan and Kel and All That was the other one.
And All That. And so you're doing sketch comedy on Nickelodeon, like before you do sketch comedy on Saturday Night Live. So you have a unique path.
Very unique and very kismet. Because we would say, oh yeah, we're the Saturday Night Live for kids or whatever, but we never thought any of us would actually make it to an audition. Because that shit was like in New York. We were in Florida and never thought about how we would ever let's go pack it all up and move to New York in hopes for a chance at the shot at the audition for Saturday Night Live. It was like, no, if it
not even a chance
ever were to come up, you know what I mean? That would be a miracle. So.
Yeah, it's almost too big. Thought. It's too far away. It's too big of a deal.
It's too famous, too infamous, it's just one of those things that's existing in the background of your life that you never think you'll be a part of. Like, it was hard for me to associate myself with it being the same show for years. You know what I mean? I'm like, is this like another world or like another dimension or something? Like, is this bizarro Saturday Night Live?
Do you remember the first time you walked into 8H on a Thursday? It's empty. Yeah. What was your audition like?
Horrible. I had to do stand up for the first time because it was like cattle call all the black guys, and a lot of black comics are mostly stand ups because Tracy and Jerry had left, and so it was like time for some newbies, and the pool of black comedians are mostly stand ups pretty much, and at the time. And I had to do stand up. I didn't know that I could opt out of that or whatever. Being no, I'm an improver or whatever. I was just like an actor, so I was like, all right, I'll do what everybody else is doing. And it was my first time doing stand up, so it was awful.
Jeez.
I had to come up with 5 minutes. I didn't know how to talk to the crowd at all. I just started with a fucking ringing telephone and went into impressions and shit. So it didn't go over well at all. But it was fine because I got the call back, and that was on the stage, which was much more comfortable because it was just, to the camera, basically. So it reminded me of playing in my room to myself kind of thing. You know what I mean? So that was much more comfortable for me and, what I was used to being on Nickelodeon and stuff. But yeah, that call back was when I first walked into 8H, and I remember walking underneath the bleachers and just seeing all the wiring and the structure of it all and the bare bones of the studio, basically,
Scary.
Very scary because it's it's way smaller than I imagined.
Smaller is what I thought too. Yeah.
Yeah. It's way smaller. And how do they do all this shit in here? Because there was nothing, and there was no sets. There was no I don't think the music stage was even
nothing,
set for that season yet or something. So it was just a blank studio. So I was like, oh,
and it's not sparkly. It's not a modern.
It was nitty gritty. So I was like, okay, cool. Let's get down to the nitty gritty.
So, I know about your resume, and now you're branching out. I was just fascinated by your company, Artists for Artists.
Yeah, smart. Shout out. Yeah, shout out to my partner Johnny Ryan.
When did that start? Your own? It's a management company, production company, or kind of a combo.
It's a mothership of a lot of different things, but yeah, it's a production company. But also we want to be able to be the bank eventually. You know what I'm saying, and fund a lot of different projects or whatever. But yeah, my partner's been producing for 20, 30 years, and I've been doing what I've been doing for 20, 30 years. So we met each other 20-ish years ago and then reconnected 4-ish kind of years ago. All right, so where are we both at with this whole, career as far as working with others is concerned and what we really want out of life? And, he became a free agent right around when I became a free agent-ish, because I'd had another production company, but it was kind of living in its own kind of, I don't know, altitude. Like it was kind of peaking basically without breaking through the ceiling kind of thing. So it's like, maybe start something fresh, and, since I'm starting it with somebody who has such a great background in it, kind of let him run with it. If it's just going to be me and him running a company together, like that's a, very like exciting thing because I know the communication will be there. You know what I'm saying? Because we're friends and we hang out all the time. You know what I mean? And to like build something where you need to be checking in with somebody on a daily basis, why not do it with like a friend, but also a friend that knows what the fuck they're doing kind of thing. So it's a layered kind of a company, you know what I mean? And it's just a really cool kind of venture. So I'm excited to see what it does.
I saw, not to interrupt, but Mike Tyson, you're doing something with him. And what are you doing with Mike Tyson?
He's one of our early investors. He's like one of our partners, I think, but also like whatever he wants to do, he's a, kind of like friend of the family basically at this point. And, my partner was producing his podcast and a couple other things with him. He produced his fight, the last fight with Roy Jones, you know what I mean? So he did that in the middle of COVID, like kind of by himself, with a small team. And, so he's a prolific producer. Like he knows so many different people. He's been doing it for so long and still under the radar. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, this is time to like both of us kind of, jump into the next, I don't know, milestone search of our lives or, career
smart
goals.
To think that way.
I think it's great. You're still really young and you can build that as big as you want to build it. It's just one step at a time.
Yeah. So if you guys got projects, you know what I'm saying? Or like, holla at your boy.
I have a few, yeah, for sure. Oh, good. You can make deals with Keenan. He likes to make deals.
Yeah. Yes. Make the deal with Keenan. He'll handle it. Thanks, Lauren. I appreciate it.
I gotta say, Dana, that Keenan comes off as pretty together guy and in a business of being famous for so long. But maybe do you think it helped that your fame, like you were saying about Nickelodeon, was a little more gradual and not overnight, so you could sort of absorb it yearly and take it in? Mine was a little like that, where it just took so long that by the time I got sort of well known, I was like,
yeah.
It wasn't overnight. Like Jim Carrey, that stuff would throw me off.
It would, because there's too many things happening at once. You know what I mean? It's like all of a sudden you have, all the attention in the world that maybe you didn't have. You're getting like attention from certain, people or, sexes. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
What do you mean? What do you mean by that? Okay.
Yeah. Like the ladies are starting to look at you a certain way. Whatever. Your finances are all like skyrocketing and shit. You know what I mean? So
your friends are different. Like when it's so quick, everyone gets weird.
You just have carte blanche kind of to everything your heart could ever desire. And, there ain't a lot of people that have handled that well. You know what I mean? No matter who they are. They go through their ups and downs and they bump their heads and blah, blah, blah.
And you can't imagine it doesn't stay up here. I use the example. You can't see the bottom, of like Friends, the TV show. Like I know some of them and they're pretty cool people, because if the first thing you do is that sky high, I don't think it's in your head to realize it can go down, or anything you do after that will be just as big. It's just impossible. Yep. So everything feels like a little bit of a nick, like it just can't be all great. Maybe that's a bad example, but you know what I mean? So if you're out there, you do something, then you do something that doesn't really work. Then you get a little better, then you do something. Then you start to realize, oh, I'm really lucky where I am, or I'm really lucky that something worked. Appreciate it more and try to keep your head screwed on straight, which is almost impossible.
It really is. And the younger, the worse, I feel like. You know what I mean? Like, if you, like, not to harp on Pete, but like Pete is a perfect example. He's a great kid, you know what I mean? But he had it all dumped on him at 19. And he just fucked around and happened to be good. You know what I'm saying? So that's what really adds, fuel to the fire. When you have all these things that, people want to clamor onto, and you have the talent to back it up as well. It's just like, all right, fucking, the world is your smorgasbord. Like, have whatever you want, this kind of thing, or whatever. And we've literally had to watch him grow up through that and, come out on the other side, thankfully still intact, with his family being close to him and stuff like that. And, good friends, but it looked like a fucking nightmare. You know what I mean? Because it looked like such a whirlwind of everything happening all at once. And you think it's all good, and then certain bad things happen, but, you know, you just keep going because, you know, the industry keeps pushing you along through whatever. But unfortunately, these are the times where everybody knows everything about everybody. So we've like had to, you know, watch directly or indirectly, you know, our little brother like fall down and scrape his knees and get back up, you know what I mean, and heal himself, and, you know, keep trying to keep a head on
a lot of eyes,
basically. Yeah,
a lot of, in a world where there's just a lot of eyes on everything,
and also stay inspired. You know what I mean, with so much shit talking out there. You know what I mean, and like to still want to create things that people might talk shit about is, you know, very brave. You know, so I give him his credit.
You know, we just saw him this weekend. He did a good job, Dana. We just did this Mark Twain thing, and he came in and he had some good jokes there. So that, you know, it's tough. I mean, I would rather, if I was in his position, wish eyes were off me, let things settle for a second, just because it's too much for too long where you go, you can't make a move. Everyone's got an opinion. It's just a tough situation.
Yeah.
It's a lot of good in it, but it just can be tough.
Well, yeah, we had a bulletin board. This is old-timey stuff, you know, with like 5 or 6 handwritten or hand-typed letters. And that was our only interaction. There was no, you know, anything.
Yeah.
And some of them said we suck. But I do think for a lot of the people that I know who are very talented, there's the fame, the money, the power, the glory, whatever, the private jet, all of it. And then there's kind of like landing a joke, having something you do and having your peers go, that was cool.
Yeah.
You know, that lasts a long time, that vibe, you know, because all 1,000%. The rest is just distracting, you know.
And it doesn't get easier. Like you said, David, you just are coming from the Mark Twain thing, having to come up with new bits, you know what I'm saying? And like if everyone's going to come as comedians, descend on a new moment, you still got to deliver, you know what I mean? Like there is no audition. Yeah, there is no like, oh, remember what I did in my last kind of thing? Use that. You know what I mean? It's like, no.
You want to go, because it was a hard one. I mean, it was a big reunion, but it was fun. And your performing makes it more nervous because forget Ted Sarandos and Scott Stuber from Netflix are in the crowd. Also, you know, they're all buddies, but it's still work, and it's still who did good, you know, you're going on after Conan and after...
and we're an hour Ben in. Stiller. I think David and I, there's like 10 comedians before us, and you got your notes, you go, oh, they're going to do the Sandler Trouble True thing. Okay, so that's done.
Right.
Chris Rock was sitting next to me. He goes, I got 2 minutes at this point.
Yeah, it's just getting whittled down.
Watching comics. But you're right. You always have to prove yourself. There's a never-ending thing in show business because you feel like if you ever rest on your laurels and just, I showed up, I hate the idea of that.
It's funny, Keenan, when I left the show, there was an opportunity to maybe be on a show or do a show, but when my last sitcom stopped, I said, I think I want to take a year off. And they were like, don't. I don't care what you've done, what you think, they will forget. And just, you've got to jump on another one. Right? I'm like, God damn. It's like a cattle prod on your back going, go. I go, so I'm going to go, and my last show will air on a sitcom. I'm playing a new character in the fall on a new one. They're like, yes.
Yeah.
Nobody gets
it's like that Seinfeld joke. Like, people would ask him, like, do you ever get tired of, like, you know, telling the same jokes over and over again? Like, another comedian would ask him that. And he was like, how many people do you think have seen your act? You know, like, you're not that famous. You know what I mean? You have to, like, keep fucking performing.
Just keep winning over
the things
people
that are silent. Yeah, the things that are solid. Yeah, exactly.
There's always the first time someone saw you. Like Mark Twain, Dana, there's definitely people, the first time they've seen me or you is on that. They're like, oh, they just don't watch a lot of shit, but that thing they like, and they go, oh, these guys, oh, that guy I've heard about, is he any good? I'll decide right now.
Finally stepped a toe in their world.
Yeah. I was terrified on that because I haven't done a lot of stand-up recently, and then I changed the whole thing the morning of the show, and I sent the notes in to the producer, and he didn't get it. And then the rehearsal, because I was playing the guitar, everything was so hectic and weird. I had nothing on the teleprompter, and so I was just doing jokes to my driver, Gata, from Senegal, who was awesome. They paid to have a guy drive me around. I was trying everything out on him. He's like, you're my favorite passenger. I go, thank you. But I was...
he told me you bombed.
First time doing jokes.
No, Dana killed. And the funny thing is you do these things and then they still have to cut it. And so you're still hurt by going, who the fuck cut that joke? Like, oh, so that one sucked? Is that the one everyone hated? And
you mean the loudest laugh is being cut? Just want to check in on that.
Right. Yeah.
That's the great thing about live television going full SNL. It's like whatever you say out there, you say, and it is beaming out to the world. No,
I like that.
Raw.
And then you walk away. You shed it like a skin, and you go to a party. You start the party at 3:30 in the morning.
And I think that's where 20 years goes like that. You know what I mean? Like if I was locked in the same character, I think it'd be a much more slower, mundane. Yeah. But, we go from idea and let it go, like you said.
It's hard, but it's a gift. If you're on, you see people. I remember when Julianne Margulies, she quit ER at the top of the game. We're all like, what? Or the girl before her quit, and then when you realize an hour drama is a never-ending movie with the hours of getting up at 5 and just cramming lines. I mean, ER lines, forget it.
Are you kidding?
They just for Doctor psychological reasons, they have to stop.
Doctor talk, the worst.
Doctor gibberish for hours.
Doctor fucking blibbity blob.
Yeah.
Give me a 10 cc of an L95.
Ringer's lactate. They put their mini sides in someone's guts. And then they just look down and
some
read
Dexatrine, damn it.
Dexatrine.
Cut back to the top.
You're like, I can't do it anymore. Get that shot. I know when they go going again, you're like, fuck, I finally got it right once. Move on.
Dexatrol, you fool, not Dexatrine. Reset.
Okay, Dexatrol. One more time, guys. My bad. Seriously.
No one even knows what we're saying. Just keep moving on.
It doesn't sound like a language. I'm Jerry Seinfeld all of a sudden for no reason.
All right, what else you got
Did
for
I
Keenan,
tell you,
Dana? We got
for Keenan, I have my idea of Jerry Seinfeld, who's a genius. I think he should do a vinyl album and go back, and it should be a picture of Jerry, and all it'll say on the album is "Paper clips." Why? Only Jerry could do an hour on that.
The absurdities.
And have it be great. So 139 impressions. Why so
real?
Few? I don't know. That's what it says here on the piece of paper.
You know what I mean?
So it must be true. You were there with Daryl Hammond. Did he coach you at all on impressions?
Oh yeah, he coached by doing. I used to watch Daryl like a hawk, only because he doesn't say much. You know what I mean? And he just kind of shows up, does his thing, goes in his room, comes out, destroys, and then kind of just disappears back into his trench coat. And I used to watch that, and I'd be like, this is a machine right here. And then I heard him tell the story of, like, somebody asked him, like, well, how do you nail down your impressions, like, so solidly? And he's like, some are easier than others. But he went and sat with Bill Clinton one time to, like, really just capture him, in person or whatever. And he was like, within 2 minutes, he was like, I know exactly who this guy was. And I'm like, now that's a real dedication.
That's not always possible, though, I don't think.
Well, it's kind of Hillary, Daryl Hammond's coming by, wants you to sit with us for a while. I think that's okay, baby.
Dana knows that I have 1.39 impressions.
Wait a minute. Tom Petty was your mic drop.
I have Michael J. Fox and then half a Tom Petty, and then that's it.
Okay, we've done it before, but give us 10 seconds of Michael J. Fox and Casualties of War.
A movie no one ever saw. Okay. Hey, Sarge. Hey, what are we doing here exactly?
My God.
You got to give me a minute on this here, Sarge. Oh, Christ, Mallory.
We love you, Michael.
Yeah, that was good.
If he's listening. Really good.
Yeah. See? Keenan, I'm back.
That was really good, man. That was fucking bullseye.
This is one of our touchstones. We've probably done that at least 20 times. It always makes me laugh.
Can I ask, who is this guy? The World.
Oh, that was Mickey Rooney.
I did a situation comedy with Mickey Rooney, and that when we did that, when we did that sketch, I was just doing Mickey Rooney for Bonnie and Terry Turner. I was not. There was no writing, and he was the biggest star in the world in 1937. This is 40 years later, and every day wanted to remind us. You'd be coming down the hallway, and you would hear it. I was the #1 star in the world. You hear me? Bang.
Bang.
The world. It was a beautiful poem.
I like his scratchy voice because he's getting older. The #1 star. telling someone at catering.
He was a broke alcoholic for decades, so he would pull out $5,000 because he was doing a Broadway show while he was doing this. Mm-hmm. He goes, "Think I can afford lunch?"
That's what I say.
Look at this.
Oh, man.
He was the original Floyd Mayweather. He'd carry $5,000 around in him.
Bang. Hear me?
All right. Well, Keenan, we've wasted his time enough.
So good.
Keenan, you're very beloved, and I saved this for the end because I think it was me, but sometimes history is funny that way. I think I was the one who named Phil the Glue. Mm-hmm. That's my remembrance, and then I forgot to tell Will Ferrell that I nicknamed him the Straw after Daryl Strawberry. And then when I was thinking about this interview with you and watching you all these years, this is my nickname for you. The mailman always delivers.
Oh man, that's so gangster. Thank you, man.
That's a good one.
David, did you have one? Yeah.
No, we came up with it.
I really mean it.
I'll jump in on that one.
I just meditate on these guests, you being one of them. It's like, he's the mailman.
Thank you, man. Shout out to Karl Malone. I appreciate that.
Yeah. I know. That's where I was processing. But sorry, he also always delivered with John Stockton.
I'm bad with, accolades, especially coming from, people that I admire. So I only send that energy right back to you guys. Like, it's so great to see you guys, having these conversations together, and like to be a fly on the wall, listening to your fly on the wall. It's so great. So I'm just happy that you guys get along and, set the example for everybody else that it's possible. You know what I mean? Like, we don't all have to be fucking weirdos.
We're very good friends and knowing each other before SNL. He's probably right out of high school. But I can say that when you see any of your peers, and just going back to Scared Straight, you see someone in the pocket, landing, in control, knowing, it's hard. It's live TV, and what happened in the moment before, and don't try too hard. And to see someone in the pocket, once you see it once, you're like a fan. You're like, okay, that's all I got to see. And then you see everything else. It's damn. But you were in the pocket on that thing, and it pops off the screen. So anyway.
Thank you. I mean, we all try to live up. We all try to live up to our siblings, like I come from, by the time I got there, the show was 30 years old, so we were all, anybody that I've ever, or has come behind me, we were all fans of the show first. You guys were all, performers in your own right, coming to build something. But, we get to walk into an already shiny lobby, you know what I'm saying? And continue it from there. So no one really had the attitude of I'm bigger than the moment, or, I'm writing the most ingenious shit. So we never played around with not wanting to deliver. You know what I'm saying? It was like, how dare you not, in the temple of comedy gods, fucking try to hit it out of the park with whatever you're doing if you get the chance. So,
and also, how do you? It's harder for you because we've done everybody in SNL before. He's done X amount of sketches. You just have to do new ones, and it's just so hard to think of a new mousetrap.
It really is. Bits, man, fishing for bits.
Bits.
I like the way you talk, Keenan. It's a shiny lobby. I know there may be a character in that.
Yeah.
Just the way you express yourself, but like take it someplace exaggerated.
That's a good one.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Poetry, basically. I have a lot of Irish relatives, and they talk in poetry.
Oh, I like that.
It's not half bad. Oh, it's a genuine article, or just that,
just kind of like
brilliant,
staring out.
Staring out at
into the abyss. Rain. Yeah, just thinking way out. How far can you go? Or just highly imaginative. But I mean, that's what writing will teach you, to make your references very clear so you can give the image to others, kind of thing.
Clarity is king.
Yeah. Well, I love
originality.
I love you both. I won't hold you.
Miss you already.
Thank you
we
so
won't
much.
hold you, but we'll see you. I like this figure speech someone said to me. See you around campus.
Yeah.
We'll see you at the 50th or not sooner, and we wish you all the best. Artists for artists. Let's do it.
Oh, man, you guys are the best. Thank you, man.
All right. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. See you later.
This has been a podcast presentation of Cadence 13. Please listen, then rate, review, and follow all episodes. Available now for free wherever you get your podcast.
No joke, folks. Fly on the Wall has been a presentation of Cadence 13, executive produced by Dana Carvey and David Spade, Chris Corcoran of Cadence 13, and Charlie Finan of Brillstein Entertainment.
The show's lead producer is Greg Holtzman, with production and engineering support from Serena Regan and Chris Basil of Cadence 13.
And I was home, but what?
You think we're talking about Sandler? We're talking about Kenny Loggins.
I thought, what do you think? We're punchy. We're in a bunker.
Dots?
Somewhere.
Dots, anyone?
We
these
can't
have
afford
sugar.
A window. What are you eating now? Paper?
These are dots, guys.
Jesus.
Remember these?
You were a kid? No, is that sugar?
Yeah, I only had one, that one. Kenny Loggins.
Kenny Loggins.
What a stud, dude.
By the way, I saw Loggins Messina, Day on the Green.
What's that?
Angry Eyes. Remember that lick? I don't
think I do.
You know? Anyway, this was a really fun podcast for me personally because I love music and I love musicians. And Kenny Loggins can really, he's like in high school, he just sat down with a guitar. He's one of those savants. I mean, he's somebody who just knew how to sing and play guitar at a very early age. We really talk about his songwriting prowess and how he comes up with songs.
I mean, he sat right here. Remember, he came over. He sat here. We had a blast. Looks the same. He's a stud. Talk about how super famous he got there. Stadiums and just, he's obviously such a big songwriter. Loggins and Messina, just Kenny Loggins.
Yeah.
Hit songs in hit movies.
Soundtracks.
That was big money.
Yeah. I mean, Footloose. I mean, come on. And many, many others. I mean, his song in, what's the
Top Gun?
Top Gun. That he wanted to redo it. And they said, no, we want the exact same song.
Oh, we had a big controversy because I sang him Fruit Loops parody of Footloose. And I couldn't remember the goddamn comedian that did it, but I was doing the other comedian's bit, but singing it to Kenny Loggins was a blast. And he hadn't heard it and he thought it was funny. And then on Top Gun, I always thought until the day I saw him, it was, I went to the danger zone and it's highway. And we get in a big argument because I said, there's not a highway in the sky. I don't even understand what you're talking about.
Highway to the danger zone?
Yeah. Highway to the danger. I said, that makes no sense. That song shouldn't have worked. So we fought about that. Got very tense.
I know. Ed, look, was it going to get physical? I never thought it went to that level. Mm-mm. He stood up. We cut tape. You don't need to know this stuff. This is behind the scenes. No, anyway, by the end we were friends, but put it this way, Kenny Loggins is one of those people in the last long time, maybe 50 years, has been a huge part of American music. You don't even realize how much he's done.
Yeah. Wall-to-wall hits.
And he's still out there touring. He looks great. I mean, he's Kenny Loggins. He's a rock star. So I found this really, really interesting. Cue to the audience.
It was great, and it made me realize how boring I was. Because when I was hearing about his hits, and he was playing the Hollywood Bowl right after that, and we couldn't go. And but anyway,
we couldn't find it. I drove over there and I went round and round. I couldn't find the Hollywood Bowl. I just rolled down my window and went,
Kenneth. Sometimes he answers to
But
Kenneth.
remember, and toward the end, he handed you a ukulele and you played a beautiful.
I said, "Love the world who holds the world in a paper cup."
Hey, guess what?
What song does that go?
Paper Cup. That's called Paper Cup.
No, Danny's song.
Danny's song. And even though I don't have money, I'm so in love. Now you know why I'm a comedian.
Jesus.
Guess what? Newsflash. We can cut this. What was the first big badass song globally? We're talking about the 19th century.
Yeah.
That was like heavy metal in those days.
Uh-huh. Oh, that's the only
row,
clue?
Row, row your boat gently down the stream. I'm not kidding. This was a heavy metal, huge global hit. Gently, gently, gently.
Yeah.
Life is but a dream. That was
very edgy.
That was like Metallica in 1860. Stop! I don't want to hear it.
Let's look at a clip. Okay.
Anyway,
that's the only one we might actually cut. No, I'm kidding.
No, I just need a second. Huh?
You gotta take that,
Kenny? Yeah. We just did the thing. No. Spade's cool with you. It's fine. We talked about Danger Zone, Highway to Danger Zone. All right. Next time you're at the bowl, hit me up. Okay, buddy.
All right. Let's throw to it.
That was your mom. What is it?
People smile, tell me I'm lucky one. That's a great song. You know that song, Heather?
And even though we ain't got money, I'm so in love with you, honey. Didn't we sing that to his face?
Did he write that or not?
Oh, he wrote it.
Someone else did it.
Oh, he wrote it.
He wrote it. He wrote the fucking shit out of it. Okay, here's how this one goes.
Yeah, you do it.
I go, give me a little darn, and he's like, God damn. That's the beginning.
I know. Even though we ain't got money,
we did a corporate gig too.
I'm so low with you, honey.
People smile and tell me I'm a lucky one. Life's just begun. I think I'm gonna have a son. He will be like you and me, as free as a dove. This is the hard part.
No.
Conceived in love. Sun is going to shine above.
Here's the hard part.
Even though we ain't got money. Oh my God, he's good. What the fuck?
Damn it.
I'm so in love with you, honey.
Hello, head of A&M.
I'm gonna take your chair.
I'll call you later, A&M Records. I think I have someone you might want to meet.
They ran out of film about an hour ago. All right, that's good. Oh, can't wait to get to this grilling.
Okay, I want to start with that song parody thing.
I want
to say one thing.
Yeah,
you're
on
that
though. So
I
you're
had was I finally saw. It was about a year ago. I saw your audition reel for Saturday Night Live.
Oh, I haven't even seen
that tape. Is fantastic.
Thank you.
It was a tape when I saw it.
Yeah.
By the way, how have we not seen these for this whole time? I've never seen it. They're coming out with so many things that I'd never seen in my life. Rehearsals.
It's on YouTube.
Well, anything they tape, they can sell.
I mean, I guess back then, but they held it for so long because I just saw a rough video, Dana, of Thursdays doing promos. You know, they do promo with you. You would be in it.
Well, they keep releasing them.
And you do it with the host, the music, and then maybe one of the cast members. And I would write those. That was sort of my jury duty when I got there. And so you get to meet people like you and the host. And so it was me. Lauren's up there, sort of monitoring it. The first Lauren impression came early. And then it was Emilio Estevez was the host, Pearl Jam was the band. And so I'm explaining how to this is what you say is what you say. And then I step back. They don't just show the promo, step back and watch, and Lauren watches, they try it, and then they go, cut. But still rolls, and they go.
When you say they try it, you mean not the actual actors, though?
No, the actual actors are really taping it to record it.
Take after take. It had to be exactly 30 seconds. That was
no, it had to be like
what?
Like 9. Yeah, it was very hard.
The really fast one.
You had to put the host, the music name, and then you had to do a joke. Hi, I'm Emilio Estevez.
So that's online.
And this is I'm hosting with Eddie Vedder from Pearl Jam, and then we have 4 seconds for a joke. And so I had to write like 12 of those jokes every week for a host. And
that's quite an exercise.
Yeah. Did you do promos when you were there? You had to do that on Thursday, probably.
No, back when I did it, we didn't do promos.
Oh, for
the musical
real?
act didn't do that.
Who was your host? You remember? You don't have to.
Kenny, not one bit of research.
1982.
No.
I'm going to guess the host was... I don't know, Mary Tyler Moore?
No.
82.
Not that far back.
82.
She hosted when I was there.
Graduating high school.
82, you were doing.
I was graduating Saguaro High School in Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
But that was right in the pocket of me loving SNL for sure.
Yeah, me too.
Because high school is like when
me
you
too.
Go crazy.
Okay, I just had
people think that when I do those movies, then do you hang out with Bill Murray and do you know
right.
All that with like
Caddyshack
and stuff
all
like
day.
That. Yeah. You never meet the music's the last thing they do.
Yeah.
You never meet the actors are on to their next or next movie.
The band is always the badass. I mean, look, if we were talented like you, I would have gone into music. That we all wanted to do what you did.
Jealous of singers.
This was our fallback. I was in a little band. I had a Hardy Boys book was my snare, and I would kick a little hamper, and my brother had a one-string guitar.
How old were you when you did?
I was 2.5. No, I was like 7 or 8. But rock stars. But what I wanted to ask you, I just had a flight of fancy because of this song, Danny's song, which is really super iconic. Even if you haven't heard in a while, it's like the chorus, like, even though we ain't got money, I'm still in love with you, honey. Do you think that still rings true to you?
You just reminded me, I did Gilbert Gottfried's show.
You
about
did?
2 years ago.
Oh.
And we sang Danny's song together.
Oh really? Did he change the lyrics?
Oh my God.
It was so funny.
But it's very romantic and very youthful because, in modern society, it's like, even though you're out of cash, I'm leaving real fast. And that kind of, but that's that young, youthful.
Even though you
that
don't
kind
have
of in high school,
Instagram
right?
followers, I'm still in love.
In high school.
High school.
Senior in high school.
You sat down with a guitar.
Yeah, my brother wrote me a letter about having a baby and moving, and so that's why it's called Danny's song, because it was taken from Danny's letter. Some of the lines in the song are actually.
I know one of them.
But what was your first chord?
Pisces Virgo rising was a very good sign.
Strong and kind.
But
the melody, I mean, how do you start with the
G? The album version? See, that never made the single version.
Jeez.
Oh, really?
You researched it.
Oh, really? That's such a great line.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
Never got high. Right? They weren't going to play that on the radio.
I never got. Oh. Boy, I was a lucky guy, is that what you say?
Yeah.
Boy, I was a sorry guy? What was it?
No, Boy, I was a sorry guy.
Yeah. Because that song was a tearjerker.
Well, people adopted it,
Hard to get a hook like that.
The funniest part for me is playing benefit concerts where it's, $10,000 a plate, and they're singing, even though we ain't got money. All the audience is singing. Was there ever a time you didn't have money?
Even though we're trying to recall.
I was at a Catholic church once, and the priest was going, we, in the name of the Lord, we all need money. And the whole church was there. And then I saw Jeff Bezos going up and getting communion. I thought, well, this guy could help out.
Right.
I don't know, maybe he did buy the church. Yeah. He buys everything he can see. Anyway, but that song is amazing because I'm always fascinated by someone who can come up with a hook, a melodic hook like that. You're just strumming. And then that comes to you, right?
And some people are better at it than others.
Well, and you're kind of one of the best.
It's just a thing that was there right from the very beginning.
You had it.
That I knew what a hook was.
And what was your guitar? I'm sorry, this is maybe too technical.
We don't really need him.
We don't need him at all.
Take it over. I can see.
Because you talk a lot about in your book how you got better with the guitar over time. And how proficient were you on the guitar? How many chords did you know when you wrote Danny's song as a kid?
I think I used all the chords I knew on that song.
Like 5? You're right. Did you do bar chords?
Not at first. Nobody does.
Anyway, that's the
last
David,
thing you want to
can
learn.
have the next question. We're going to tag team today.
Speaking of bar chords, you're from
What bars have you
Alhambra,
played?
California, which I've only heard about that city on traffic
No
reports.
human being really knows where it is.
If you know where Pasadena is.
Yes. But Alhambra, Alhambra, where is that?
Are you thinking of Altadena?
Well, Altadena's there too. We played sports against these towns.
I hear that on weather reports. Okay, so you tell him he's got that rock star life. That's really Dana's big takeaway.
I love the very end of your book because you kind of sum it up saying you don't really want to be Kenny Loggins anymore in a sense. But we never had your fame or were a rock star. And that is a motherfucker.
Well, you're kind of a rock star in your world.
Well, thank you. I was hoping you were going to say that.
Yeah.
I take back everything I said.
Right.
But you I was just thinking the ride of that. And when you become that famous and you were a full-blown sex symbol, right? I mean,
still am.
Well, of course you are now. The ladies must go crazy.
I deal with it every day.
You are finally preserved and very handsome. Yeah. But in the 70s and 80s, that's just heady stuff. Do you have a question, David?
My question is I
was waiting for your question.
There's no question. I'm just defining you.
Okay.
But that must have been amazing. But go ahead,
I
David.
think his fame sort of, I'm not relating you to me at all. You're a huge fucking rock star, but when I got fame, it was a little easier to deal with because it was so incremental. And I, got on locally in town, I was doing stand-up, and then some people knew me there. So that was a little weird. And then I got on an HBO Young Comedian special, then a little more people, SNL, but didn't do much. Then I got a part in a movie, but it wasn't the starring role. So over time, people started to know me, but it took 10 years,
You got famous at 51.
Yeah.
And he was a rock star. But you did it was 21, right? Basically 22.
21,
That first.
My oldest son says, Dad, that fucked you up right from the very beginning.
Is that what
And what did you mean by that?
Well, you miss out on the parts of life that you should be learning about.
Right, because it's all
and writing about, because then you're not anonymous anymore, and you're not walking around absorbing life and getting a real reaction about the real world.
Yeah, the real world evolves.
Yeah.
I never had to learn how to cook for myself.
Yeah.
It was one of the things I wished that I would have gone through that phase of getting more friendly with the kitchen.
Yeah. How do you cook now? I mean, do you have?
I asked Lisa to cook.
Yeah. Lisa cooks. So I felt like when I felt famous for the first time in my 30s, that to certain people I became an idea or a concept. Especially just getting wealth too. Like, when did wealth come in for you? Like real wealth. When did you first make $1 million?
That was very close to the beginning. Yeah,
really?
So you got
was
full
it Danny's song?
So it was the opposite of your story.
I was trying to say we had the same story, and then I started to back out of it.
Yeah, Loggins from Messina played the Troubadour as the opening act for Curtis Mayfield.
Okay,
and then 2 weeks later, I think it was, they brought us back as headliners because I guess the headliners dropped out and Weston needed somebody in a hurry. Yeah. So they pulled us back in. So it looked like the rise to that kind of thing.
Back then, that was a huge deal.
FM radio was still a new concept.
And FM was, oh my God.
Yeah. And so they adopted the Loggins and Messina record because we had these 7-minute tracks where they could go out back and get stoned and then come back in and
what was on that first album? The first that got hit, Angry
that was
Eyes?
Sittin' In. Angry Eyes was the second album.
But what were the hits off that Sittin' In album?
Sittin' In had Danny's song.
Oh, Danny's song.
Anne Murray covered before we got to it.
Mm-hmm.
And it had
Anne Murray of all people. Believe in Me? Is that what she sings? Believe in
No.
Well, I can't
Danny's
believe
song.
it. But she did Danny's song, but she also, she was her own star.
Oh, yeah.
And then you sort of gave that to her, or you said, do you want to cover it?
I gave it to her, yeah. She was with, I had a friend and there was her friend, so I met her through her friend.
So you still get checks today from Anne Murray's cover, and then you get checks for your own.
You did your research, didn't you?
Yeah, well, I'm into royalties and money. I want to know your net worth, but I'm not going to. So anyway, just to put that in context, I'll be like Howard Stern. You're 21, 22. Mm-hmm. You've got a huge hit album. You're getting famous. Girls love you. You're getting really wealthy. Then what happens? You do more of it.
Then what happened?
More girls.
Well, in those days, I didn't have a girlfriend or a wife or anything, no family. So, 21 years old, you mean I would go on the road for 300 days a year.
Good God.
We just lived out there because there was nobody at home.
The day you get famous, do they deliver cocaine to your house, or do you have to go buy it, or how?
Your underwear is made of cocaine, and then you gradually just take.
You have a vending machine at every gig,
So 300 days, but you were
got
young.
it figured out.
Yeah, that's what I asked for.
Wow, is that on a bus, or are you flying commercial, or that's just?
Well, it's both. On the East Coast, you'll tend to bus because the venues are closer together. Yeah. On the West Coast, you usually fly.
And they start to grow exponentially, like it was. To theaters or 3,000
Well, we started on a college tour, so we played the gyms.
That's what we did.
Gymnasiums,
college,
and then that grows out to real venues.
The word gets around.
What size would be the real ones? Because I don't know if we really got past that.
Well,
size.
Things happen pretty quick. So we probably did a short bit of what they call performing arts centers, which are 2,500 people. Mm-hmm. And then we were suddenly in outdoor, venues. I remember a show we played in, I think it was Oakland. Well, I obviously don't remember that show.
Paramount Theater?
And it was, opening act was Peter Frampton, then Fleetwood Mac.
Jesus.
Stevie and Lindsay had just joined the band, so that hadn't caught on yet. And then us, and then Rod Stewart. And I told a balloon story in the book about.
God damn.
Then when you walked off stage.
Jimmy bribing the kid holding Rod Stewart's balloons he gave him $50 and said, let him go now. So hundreds of balloons take off for our encore.
Did you guys with comedians, it's always a pecking order. Like if there's comedians, your opening act tries to blow you away, even though he's your friend. And if you're the headliner, the middle tries to dominate you. Yeah. Do you you'll follow that motherfucker Rod Stewart? Or did you feel that then? Or you're just...
Where were you in that lineup?
We were third.
But you followed Fleetwood Mac.
Followed Fleetwood Mac. They were pretty good.
Were they?
They were okay. What happened to them?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I'm still jealous that you even knew Stevie Nicks and also rang her up to do a song, which is such a great song.
Well, because I was their opening act for the better part of a year. They opened for Loggins and Messina when they started, and then I opened for them when I went solo. And it was really the duet with Stevie that launched my solo career on the radio.
God, the amount of people that era that you worked with and interacted with is extraordinary.
Had we known that we were iconic.
You should have tried to manage Fleetwood Mac or something.
Yeah, really.
I'm new to this, but
you were asked to manage somebody, though, right?
What's that?
You were asked to manage someone?
No.
Yeah, Dana, nice try.
Save that,
David.
Joke for,
let me do.
No,
the
I thought you said in the book.
None of that's true. Just
No, I swear to God, I thought he said. And you kicked him to your manager, or they asked you who's a good manager. And
that was Michael Jackson.
See, Dana,
a little fella named Michael Jackson,
a little guy.
I wrote down something because I was listening to some of your stuff.
I listened to 4 this morning, 4 years old.
I was listening
on my iPod without knowing this was coming up. They're already on. No bullshit.
Cool.
This phony over here. This guy's a showbiz phony. I'm totally
look at
for
these
real.
Notes. He gets competitive sometimes, but he's good. David,
might be helpful to give your notes to the people watching, and they can we
have
pick the best questions
today.
No, I have great. What Nitty Gritty Dirt Band I love, and that was early on, right?
Yeah.
You wrote songs for them?
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, I wrote a couple songs for them.
Yeah, I wrote songs for them. Great.
Not actually for them, but I had these songs that I was playing. We go to parties, different parties around town, and there'd always be like 5 or 6 musicians with their guitars, and we'd just sit around in a circle and we'd take turns playing songs.
Oh my God! And they would say, "We want that one."
2 of the guys from the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band were in the circle, so they would do songs that they knew, and then they came to me after this whole thing and said, "That one you did about the bear, we want to do that one, and can you come up to Laurel Canyon and sing your stuff for John McEwen?"
So when you started doing your thing, did people get kind of quiet then? Oh, wait, Kenny's got something.
No,
I mean, you were a songwriter. It's so valuable for a band to have a guy come in and write to their style.
And just have they recognized the style I was writing in was the style they were recording in.
I just wanted to insert this because it really made me laugh. But in 1969, you were in a band called the New Improved Electric Prunes.
Well,
is that real?
I don't know about the new improved part, but
that's what it was on Wikipedia. The New Improved Electric Prunes.
No,
are they around anymore?
No, there was an Electric Prunes that did "I Had Too Much to Dream" last night, and a couple other hit records, and of course they got in a fight, and the lead singer left, and so they needed a couple new people in the band, and so I got a call from my friend who was hired to do the new music direction, and I was going to Pasadena City College, and he called me and said, "You want to go on the road?" I said, "Yeah."
And you were a teenager, basically.
Well, yeah.
Close,
I was 19.
Anyway, I was just leaping ahead here stylistically. This is it. Hearing that song, and your voice on that thing is supernatural. And it really reminded me, or it was sort of a similar style to Michael Jackson, that you could reach these notes. I don't. Did people talk about your vocal performance on that song in specific? You had so many, but I was just kind of blown away by how you hit that.
Thank you. Yeah, no, that I'm still struck. The problem with all that is that recording in the '80s, everything was up there,
and you could
we were
do
all
it
competing with Foreigner.
Yeah,
so Foreigner. I love
next
it.
thing you know, we're all up in the stratosphere.
Yeah, but you could hit those notes.
That was something. Yeah, that was doable, not necessarily healthy.
Not sustainable.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Taking all that on the road now, it's sometimes I have to drop a key here and there.
Now, I'm going to say this is it. Now, Dana, I'm going out on a limb because
I
might be confusing things.
No.
Was it about Dad went to the hospital with a heart attack?
Yeah, that was.
And you were putting together the song, and then you sort of, that song wrote itself where you go, this is where it's headed. This is.
Yeah, well, the intro that I use in concert, is that when Mike, and that was the second song that Michael and I wrote together.
Michael McDonald, Dana.
He's good.
He's not Michael Jackson, because I knew you were thinking Michael.
Yeah, I was thinking Michael Jackson.
And Michael McDonald's another unreal
singer.
Go ahead.
And the first one we wrote together was "What a Fool Believes."
Oof.
And then we waited about at least a year before we wrote a second song because the Fool won a Grammy, and it was
it's too hard to follow.
Most people with intelligence would go, "Well, we should write 12 more songs." Yeah. But we were intimidated by the success of the song, so we kind of
who
avoided each other.
Did you both produce it together? What a Fool Believes, because
was Teddy Templeman.
So elemental and almost cartoony in that hook and like. Are
there any words?
It's like I've never heard a hook like that.
Those are the original words. Michael's.
Oh, really? Just to make it like something, words. And then you fill it in. Did you say you walked in and he was playing the beginning of that?
Yeah, it was. I was standing outside his living room. The door was ajar, and I was hearing dun 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 dun, and he sang the whole verse and stopped. And my imagination kept going to the
oh, that's it. Work with
knock on the door and say, and then I think I know the next part of that song.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
that's
you walked right in and started doing it without even.
Yeah,
but you matched it. Like that opening is so brilliant. You always need that other thing, and you got it.
Yeah, the release, the B section.
Release the beast, and then it goes.
B sections don't exist anymore. Have you noticed that in pop radio?
People call them middle eights. Is that what they are?
That's a Nashville thing, middle eight.
Okay. Yeah. And the B section is just going someplace else for 8 bars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing you were talking about, Lennon and McCartney. That answer to that question upstairs was that I think McCartney brought the bridge to a lot of the songs where John would come in with a verse idea. Mm-hmm. And then you'll notice in the bridge gets a little more chordy, a little more intellectual, and moves into a different kind of vibe. And then it comes, the classic example of that is Day in the Life. I woke up, got out of bed, grabbed the comb across. Was a piece of, that was a McCartney melody. Yeah. Anyway, we what's the word? Diverge.
No, because you were a part of a duo, incredibly successful duo, which not important, but I saw it in 1977 or 78. I think it was Stanford University. It was like a grass green thing. Mm-hmm. We were all huge fans. So just delve into that a little bit, how you hooked up with Jim Messina.
Yeah, I was looking for a producer. I wanted to be a solo artist. Mm-hmm. And I heard that Jimmy was producing acts. And what he'd done is he'd left Poco, which was a band he'd started, to be a producer for Columbia Records.
Poco.
Dennis Miller's favorite band. Fucking Poco.
What do you mean, Steppenwolf wasn't available or something? Poco in there? Okay. Anyway, sorry. He's our favorite, one of our favorites to do. But so you met James, and
so I went over to his house, and I sang, a bunch of songs that I had. A lot of the songs that I played for Poco.
Poco, baby.
No, I didn't
Poco was big.
Actually, the Dirt Band. Mm-hmm. And in the process, we talked about working together, but I found out when I was writing the book that Jimmy said in his interview he wasn't that blown away. He didn't want to do a folk act, and he saw me as a folk act.
Was that based on Danny's song or something, or
probably?
Yeah, I mean, that's just one, but you also got you rocked it on as you continued, right?
Yeah,
that was a conscious choice.
Yeah, well, and collaboration helps with that. Writing with writers who already write in a particular style.
Yeah,
but what turned him? When did he kind of go, I'm going to work with you? Just called the next day?
Well, no, Clive called him and said...
Clive Davis?
Clive Davis. Sorry.
No, not all. I've met. He was an impressive guy.
Clive Wilkins?
It's very smart.
Right. Yeah. No,
Clive Owens? Okay.
Gotcha.
Clive for 10, Bob. Kenny Loggins has the board. Okay, so then he changes his mind.
Yeah, well, Clive calls him and says, you've been on salary for a year and you haven't done anything yet. So maybe you should pick one of these artists. And Clive had sent him Andy Williams and... acts of that ilk, and that was definitely not in his. There was one act that he would have probably produced instead of me, and that was Dan Fogelberg.
Oh, I remember him.
Fogelberg made one big mistake, and he said, "I want to do an act just like Poco." And Jimmy was like, "No, I don't want to do that again."
Wait a minute. So Jim Messina's in a room. He's got an Andy Williams 8x10 and a Kenny Loggins 8x10. I'm not sure. Well, let's go with the long hair guy.
One's the future. Andy Williams had a great run.
Andy Williams, an incredible voice. Nothing against Andy Williams and his family.
But what's more exciting? Get a guy
or Claudine.
That's his wife, or what?
Don't you remember that Claudine Lange? That was the invitational ski thing that SNL did.
Yeah, that's a Dennis Miller.
Was that a Dennis
Let's go
Miller?
hit the slopes. This is something he would do a bit about. That guy's got an AK-47 going down the bunny hill. What's that about?
I'm going backtracking to Danny's song.
We can bounce around.
And it'll be easy.
There's Eddie's song, too.
Yeah, my big brother had ADD, so I can keep up with you.
I do, too. Oh, there's a butterfly. I got to tie my shoe. What'd you say?
So this is Danny's song is about your brother. But it was similar that my brother... Andy, my older brother, is very cool, and I went to high school with him, but he was always embarrassed of me. It sounded like you said something like that, where you were a little younger, and he told me I dressed uncool, and he would always go, they don't want you guys at the party, and I go, it's a party for freshmen. He's like, I know, but they don't want you there. And I go, but I'm a freshman.
That's what you need is somebody who always thinks you're an idiot.
Yeah.
to help you.
But maybe
I had grow. 3 of them that thought I was an idiot.
Maybe that beating is, Dana is from his dad's from Montana. I think your dad might be from Montana.
That explains a lot.
And it was his dad was very tough on him. He's like an old school dad.
He had it in for me.
And wow. I don't know if you had that similar situation. Just old school tough, I'd say that. And my dad was tough till he left. And then
he ran off.
Have you considered therapy at all? Would that fuck up your career?
My favorite subject. No, I got into therapy 5 years ago, and I should have got it at age 30. I learned a lot, but
you might not have been who you were.
Well, how would you just generally for you? Because I did read your book, but
I thought you were going to say, how would you describe me?
How would you? Yeah, enough about me. What do you think of me?
What do you think?
How would you describe your childhood? Just a normal, kind of weird, really fun, or all the
only one I knew of.
Yeah, right.
How do I put this?
Yeah,
it did
say I was the third of 3 boys, youngest.
I was the 4th, and I was the youngest. Yeah.
And the middle brother Dan was kind of the outsider. He was kind of the James Dean of the family.
Rebel.
Yeah. And so, I tried to be like him. You had one of those, I think. And it wasn't very easy to do because none of his clothes fit.
Can't live up to him.
So you're trying to wear hand-me-downs?
I even tried to, wear some hand-me-downs because they were cool, right?
Yeah, he was cool. Whatever he wore was cool. Yeah. It didn't look the same on me.
Such an illusion. And, but that's what I was referring to in the back of the book, was that in the process of trying to be like my brother, I realized, thanks to him, that everything about me was uncool and really stupid. So you have to work at changing those things to become not so stupid and to try to be cool.
Yeah.
And so there's a process of creating a persona that I carried into rock and roll because I thought if I'm going to be on a camera, if I'm going to be out in front of people, I better fix those things that don't seem to be working.
Yeah.
And you got pretty cool though.
You obviously, at some point you realized, I don't know how you were in high school. I saw your high school senior, but you became kind of movie star, good looking, right? And weren't you almost in A Star Is Born? Or is that just a rumor?
That's
a rumor.
That's a rumor?
Yeah.
Did you ever hold hands with Barbra Streisand?
No. But we sang together though, which was pretty cool. And at one point she said, "Have you ever acted? Would you have any aspirations for acting?" And I said, "No."
And that was that.
It wasn't my thing, and that was that. So that was my audition.
I would say
where did you? I'm fascinated by Drive, and where did you think yours came from, and when did you realize that you had it? Like you're willing to go through a lot of pain and keep writing songs, and just the drive to get to where you got. When did you? Were you like that and had to win at games as a kid and stuff like that?
I was always competitive in sports, but not at school. School was sort of a side thing for me. But I think the drive came because I knew that I had some talent. I didn't know how good I was, but I knew I could pull off. I could go to a party and sing songs, and there'd be people listening. But other than that, I didn't know how far it could take me. But I knew that rock and roll is a high turnover business, and sooner or later I'm going to get a shot at it, and I better be good because I want to hang out there for a while. Yeah. And then one thing just led to another. I think the motivation when I got married and had kids was, I got to bring in some money here. I got to support this family. And so I just kept pushing, kept writing, kept recording.
It's a tough life.
Did you have bands in the 70s that were your peers? You'd listen to their album or watch where they got?
Yeah, who did you?
Like James Taylor's got something. I want to beat that, or just even as friends. Did you have sort of
Seeger? Anyone?
Well, I think there is that friendly competition that happens.
It's still friendly
with other players, like other guitar players and stuff. They take their guitar to school. We'd sit around and trade tunes, and that's where you learn things. When you're working with your friends, it's friendly enough that there's a one-upsmanship that usually happens, but also that you're paying attention to what they're doing, because if somebody does something really good, you're going to go, God, I got to remember that.
Makes you better.
Or show me how you played that. Or
I remember the first time I think I'd smoked marijuana. I was with a band in Tahoe.
I think you still do.
Yeah.
No, I did. We tried at the ranch and the house vibrated. We took an edible, my wife and I, only because we wanted to test drive it for her mother.
Her mother, of course.
Yeah, it was Irish. And I'm not really sleeping well.
Were you practicing for the police?
No, we did, but then we didn't give it to her because the whole house was going like this, But anyway, I digress.
I didn't know that story.
You didn't know that story?
You did that.
Yeah, we just took a teeny bit. I didn't know. And then we were watching The Godfather, had Cottonmouth, and then I woke up at 2 a.m.
To knock you out?
And then the room was vibrating. It was, I could barely walk. I said, what? Yeah.
Sounds like you took indica.
Jeez. Do you have a brand that you sell? You have the Kenny Loggins?
No, I don't.
Dude, I was
thinking Good Poo would make a good name for a brand.
Good Poo. I went into the stoner store and the guy's like, hey, and I'm like, I need a weed
why
pen.
Are you here, man?
And he goes, my neck's always screwed up. He goes, hey. I go, which one? He goes, which one of these 600 do you like? I go, that's where you come in. I don't know. And then the owner comes out. He goes, hey, Spade, Jimmy, let's get him some fentanyl crab cakes. And you know what? Why don't you have some PCP candy corns? I'm like, no, I'm okay. I'm actually just a new guy. Just want a weed pen, like a little Z-Quil. I just want knockout. Yeah. But I have another question for Kenny. It's more of a statement, which they all will be, and you don't have to talk.
We're starting the podcast pretty soon.
Okay, let me know when we're on.
We call this the precursor. When I press this button, we're on.
The first hour.
Go ahead, David.
No, this might be a lie, but Kenny, I think I remember we did a corporate gig. Is it possible?
Yeah, it's
Do you
possible.
remember? MCI, I was doing 1-800-COLLECT commercials. Beep, boop, bop, beep, boop. Remember that on the payphone? During SNL? And I was sent to, part of my deal was to go to St. Thomas and do a show, and I did stand up at the pool.
Real St. Thomas or somewhere
I don't
else?
know. It was an island.
There's an island, right? In the Caribbean?
I went down there
too, as far as I know.
And then I think it was you was the headliner, and I was just doing. But I did it around a pool, which was a tough situation. They're scattered all around the pool. They didn't even cover it up. So I'm like on the diving board and they're around here. Anyway, I do that, and then
you're doing stand up on the diving board?
Yeah, something like that.
That's
really?
dangerous.
They were working on a chart to see which way I could bomb the most, and they were like, I think the best way for him to not do well is to put him on the diving board, and he can
That
balance.
Keeps all the people apart.
Yeah, and they're like Nadia Comaneci.
I did a corporate in a hot tub, and I was fully clothed. They said, get in the hot tub, and there's like 5 CEOs. I'm like, what's up?
5 high rollers in there.
Yeah, and they're naked. I have a suit on.
Yeah.
They took an edible in the whole hot tub. Right? No, anyway.
I think Kenny was a headliner because I swear this is true, but you wouldn't remember. But we a couple of us got to come back and say hi to you. But you were, it's not really a big story. It's just that it was you and you were coming on, but you obviously crushed. And I think I got to meet you, and I think it was fun.
How could I ever forget that?
How could you forget? Check your diary. Another thing, my buddy, this guy that I did on the road had the greatest Footloose parody. Oh, we haven't talked about Footloose yet. Well, do you remember Footloose, the song?
Well, basically, like you said in your book, you had all these albums and all these hits, and then you went solo before there's all these soundtracks that blew up and are still iconic. But you and Jim, you're still friends now. Mm-hmm. Jimmy Messina.
We're doing a gig Thursday and another one Saturday.
So like I said, you're really good friends. And,
we were going to wail on you for comps, man. I'm going on the road.
The only reason I'm here is
I know. I want to go because it's going to be so fucking
I'm
huge.
a kick-a-day drummer, and I just wanted to be able to sit in on Angry Eyes.
Do you still have your book for your snare drum?
No, I graduated. No, I just drum in my head all the time.
The guitar players played tennis rackets.
He played with you too.
I'm always drumming.
Sounds
I played with you too, live from satellite. I'm impressing. Live from satellite.
Is Dennis Miller here, by the way? Can we bring him in?
Poco.
Christ's sakes, he's doing the whole beatbox thing with his mouth, huh? To the master of rhythm, Kenny Loggins. Has anyone ever called you Kenny G?
No.
Okay, sorry. So you leave Jim.
Not until now.
That was a big confidence
Gilbert
boost.
Godfrey didn't know who I was. And I was on his show.
He didn't?
Is that true?
Well, just a moment where he had to be reminded.
You look familiar.
Sorry. But God rest his soul.
Yeah.
It was great. Okay. So let's go through some of these. Well, one of the hits, Don't Fight It. I just had questions because it was Steve Perry, and I remember that when I read it, and then I listened to it again. Of course, I know that song. And it's sort of, like whenever I call you friend, It's you and Stevie Nicks, which is huge. By the way, one of the greatest intros of all time.
Oh, thank you.
I just heard it again, and I go, this is what I love. You're screwing around at the beginning, and I think people get too perfect these days in songs, and they go, oh, we had a glitch, let's redo it again. And you go, no, it's funny to hear people talk in the background or do something odd, because that's what you remember it and how you memorize it. And I think the imperfections are really fun, and that was on purpose, obviously.
Which imperfection?
What you did at the beginning, just screwing around before and
we had the song recorded, and then Bob James was producing it with me, and Bob says, we need an intro to this. And I said, well, I'll just go out to the mic and, just
was that just
something.
You?
Yeah.
That thing? You remember that, Dane, at the beginning?
Oh, yeah, totally.
So
I love
cool.
anything like that.
Yeah, I was raised on the Beach Boys, and that whole counterpoint thing was part of my brain.
Genius.
Well, just kind of just weave these things together.
It's smart. And when we talked to McCartney, it was like, when do you know when it's done? Like, because, the Beatles, they would put another layer and another layer, and they finally go, that's enough.
Yeah.
But you go, when is enough? Because it feels perfect. Like, so much going on, especially A Day in the Life. It has change-ups and different things, and that's why I know I can never write a song. It's too complicated.
Well, you just keep plonking. You're plonking. John and I would face each other with the guitars. It was like looking in a mirror. And we just keep plonking away. Then we came up with Strawberry Fields, I love the understanding. I'm going to ask you a question. As such a great vocalist, because you got the cans on, and you're going to sing with Stevie Nicks. Must have been cool to hear you sing with her.
The blend, yeah.
Yeah, it must have been a thrill, right?
Yeah.
Because she has such a unique kind of tone.
We didn't perceive ourselves the way you're describing. We were just working. You know what I mean? It wasn't Stevie Nicks. It was just Stevie.
Oh, what year was it? Like 70s? So they weren't or early 80s?
No, it was late 70s, yeah.
Late 70s. So she wasn't quite,
Yeah, because Long as Messina broke up in 76, and so it was probably 78.
And it is when songs become remembered and stick out decades later, it just grows bigger. I mean,
it gets legendary. Working with old comedians or old actors in old movies, and people go, what was it like on this and this? And you go, wow, because in the beginning of the morning, you get up, you look at your lines, you go, let's get out there and you do it. And
you're just working.
Yeah, and you go at the end, you go, I think that was all right. And then later, if it works, it works.
I did a thing with, I did a show for Coca-Cola's 100th birthday with George Burns. And he was 90 at the time. And at the end of the show, I said, in front of the audience, I said, George, this was so much fun. Let's get together and do it again when you turn 100. And he takes a cigar out of his mouth. He says, well, you look like you're in good shape. You might make it.
He ran into John Lovitz when he was like, I guess 98. And he goes, I got 18 months.
What?
He's got 18 months
left.
He
says I got 18 months to live. Yeah, he just kind of rounded it off, but it was an incredible life.
Do you remember the Norm Macdonald joke on Update when he goes, George Burns today died at 100, which proves once again, smoking kills.
A lot of those guys had double martinis and highballs and cigars and just went on forever.
Yeah.
But when you're recording like that with someone like Steve, are you hard on yourself, or are you kind of like, I think I got it, or do you want another take, or do you feel when you nailed it, you know it?
Yeah, when you're in the zone, you can feel it.
Zone? Do you feel bad if you?
Oh, that's perfect segue.
And we're not going to take it. Do you feel bad when you have Stevie Nicks in there and you go, close, going again?
Stevie did say in a number of interviews that I was the rough taskmaster.
Oh, wow.
I only had that one shot to get that vocal because the Fleetwood was passing through and we recorded it in New York.
Oh, and you got
we had
one session.
One night.
How does Kenny Loggins become a taskmaster? He's like, Stevie, what are you doing? What do you say?
No, let's do it again. Let's
go again. Go again.
Like in the movies, when you do a take, they go, perfect, going again. You go,
yeah.
Well,
I loved it. I loved it.
Yeah.
You guys are great. We're just going to go.
Well, Stevie, it would be hard. I guess you weren't intimidated back then like everyone would be today with her. She's also just a stunner, like in real life. I mean, there's so many super talented, but you come in, you got a great. I think you agree. Okay. So she's a talented girl. She comes in, got a great voice. It matches up, and then you just cross your fingers and go, I hope this fits in the song because I don't want to waste her time. I don't waste her time. You just cross your fingers. I guess
we didn't know. much about what we were going to do. We had to make it up as we went along.
Was the song done?
And in the studio? You had to write in the studio?
We had, because the vocals were crossing parts where it would be too high for her or it'd be too high for me, and so we'd have to switch parts. So sometimes she's on the melody and sometimes I'm on the melody, and we had a harmony where the first two lines I'm harmonizing to her melody on the chorus. And then I switch over to melody, and she goes up above and does the harmony.
I'm in awe of people who can harmonize. It seems like the toughest thing to hold a harmony. All the way
I think
through.
My big brother again, Danny, got me into music and singing when I was little, and so he had me learn all the harmony parts. And when I met Olivia Newton-John, she said, her big sister was the same way. Her big sister was the one who had all the melodies, and she had to sing all the harmonies.
Unbelievable.
Damn, so you really started young.
Yeah, you do.
Well, you like the Beach Boys, too, and they were all harmonies.
Yeah, it was all about that.
When we have someone like Stevie Nicks or someone else, let's say Steve Perry in there, you're doing a song. Do they ever say, I want that line?
No.
I've had that.
Yeah?
I've had that in
So where someone wants to take your punchline?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not good.
It's very weird.
Yeah.
And,
who wanted to take your
I'll tell you later. Get lost. You know them. So it is tough, but I guess it's whoever's doing it. Like when we were doing Grown Ups, applause. Yeah, thank you. We were, there's 5 comedians there. So this isn't the example I'm talking about. But Adam was pretty cool about, you have 5 comedians, and when the scene is the scene and we all have a joke, but we're all obviously capable of coming up with more jokes. So on every take, Adam will go, Spade, do whatever you want in this one. And then Rock, and then I'll come in, we'll huddle up after a take and might say, what about this line? And Adam will go, you know what? Rock, you say that. And then we'll say, I go, Adam, what? And he'll kick him around.
So he was producing.
He was producing. He's a producer. And then you have to have a boss, and we have to go, okay, whatever Adam says. Now you do them all. Right. And then when the movie comes out, he was pretty fair. You could have made that the Spade movie, because every scene I had a funny line.
You had a line.
But he goes, Rock's funny in that one. He's already had one. Give it to Kevin James here. He had a great line in that one. And I think even it out, and doesn't hog them all for himself. He could have been every joke, because every time everyone have something. Yeah. But I think that's good producing.
Is that intimidating for you?
It was
when you're
hard
with other 4 or 5 other great comedians.
Make you get funnier,
but it's work. It's the same thing.
If there's a chemistry,
if there's a chemistry, you get.
Well, Saturday Night Live definitely made me go from being a not really good writer, or maybe just a decent writer for my own stand-up. But Lauren said, I like that writing. We want it in here. And then can you write for Dana, Mike Myers, whoever? And that was harder to write for other people. But it
would seem liberating to me.
It makes you better.
Like just imagine anybody doing that.
Well, it's a style that I can write for myself, and then I'd give it to someone. They go, I think you can do it better, or I think that's more your thing, which is a polite way of saying.
Or how would you do this?
Yeah. Or I don't want to give line readings, but I go this, and I wind up. I wasn't as good writing for other people, but I think it made me better to go to a read through and watch good writing and watch people write. And you, like you're saying, you get around good people. It's the key to success. It should break.
Like I did a good memory moment.
Documentary?
Hopefully you edit this. The Winans. I did a Winans TV show, Wine and Family.
Okay.
And they did a moment where I think McDonald was on the show with me. And about 6 or 7 really strong lead singers. And each one of us had a solo line that we would take, and then they would point, you take the solo.
Oh, wow.
So we're singing the song, learning the song, and then jamming on what the solo line was.
And We Are the World, you did as
We Are the World was like that, too.
We Are the World, you asked for a different one? Can I have 4 lines?
I want Cindy's line.
We are in the world.
She goes, I don't like it.
Yeah. Did someone go, hey, Cindy, on this take, ham it down?
Yeah,
but
right.
Is it you're trying? It looks like you're trying to get.
It feels. Go to the YouTube competition.
Go to the YouTube moment where they're trying to get Cindy's line over and over again, and look in the back on the stairs is Steve Perry, and he's making the funniest faces. It's like
he's clowning her a little bit.
Well, not clowning especially. I think he's just grimacing, because there were moments where she would kind of miss the note.
Need a little help.
Well, was that a long? Must have been a long shoot. I heard, right?
Oh, it went a long time.
Yeah,
not just Cindy. I mean, the whole
everybody. Yeah, just
who was a real dick?
Did anyone say
we want a trend?
They go, Spade needs a hard out in an hour, and everyone's like, "What? Yeah, what?"
You're right.
But, does anybody want to get out? I'm sure everyone wanted to get out of there.
Dylan didn't want to do anything live with the people because he has his own thing and he doesn't want to have to sing in the group. So they brought him in separately to.
He sort of rocked and swayed
to
the song a little bit, but he didn't really sing along with it. Didn't they show him in a wide shot?
Well, he's just not that kind of singer. He's Dylan.
Sure. He's just Bob Dylan.
So did you hear about Aerosmith? What's his name?
Steve
Tyler?
Tyler?
Yeah.
When he sang the national anthem. Did you see that?
Mm-mm. Was it recently?
And a couple years ago, I think. And he sings "Land on the Flag," and he gets all this criticism, and he says, "What'd you expect? I'm Steven Tyler. That's how I sing."
That's me. Yeah.
What are you doing?
Why would you ask me if you didn't expect me to do that?
I love because at an early Bono was on "We Are the World." He sounded cool from U2, and Mike Jackson was.
He was.
Bono was in there.
He was.
Wasn't he?
Wasn't he?
Okay, we got to Google this because
I don't
think so.
Just because I've been lying so much in this podcast.
Interesting.
I can't afford one more.
I hope I'm not bugging you. I didn't mean to bug you.
I like Michael. I did a Michael Jackson video once. I think I told you, Dana, and he cut me out of it. Anyway, sore subject.
Michael Jackson in 1975. I was a busboy waiter bringing him his carrot sticks before the show for a week. I knew all the family: Tito, Marlon, everybody. And
Tito.
And Michael was charming, and I brought him carrots. And Janet was 10, and she was dumping them down the bed. I said, "Please don't do that, Janet." She goes, "Miss Jackson, if you please."
That's you're nasty.
Joke. That's the joke part. Oh. I wanted to get into something we talked about earlier. Is when you collaborate. You said that you're in a room collaborating, and at the end of the day, no one really remembers who came up with what.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And you collaborate. You're big collaborators. Like Michael McDonald, was he like your favorite? You did like 7 songs with him or something?
Yeah, I guess 5 maybe.
But you guys kind of went back and forth. But that's kind of.
Do you remember Michael McDonald?
That's interesting that people don't know.
Okay, we're going to start with the basics.
Like when I came up with the Hollywood Minute for David.
He's obviously being facetious.
I said, David, this is so you.
Something.
You should have
You should do this.
This is you.
And he does a great job with it.
He did great.
I thought it was generous of you.
Bob Odenkirk actually helped me.
Robert Odenkirk from Better Call Saul.
He helped me come up with that.
So what? I'll ask you these 2 questions. What was your? I probably don't have it. Your favorite collaboration, or the collaboration that was better than you dreamed it would ever be, turned out better, or someone who you enjoyed collaborating with, you sought them out.
Miss Piggy was.
Did you do that?
Oh, you did. Oh, yeah, you were a big
one of those things. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, the collab. But I didn't write with her.
You didn't write with her.
Yeah.
Frank Sinatra. Did you ever sing with Frank Sinatra?
You know, I've always opted for the Fred Astaire answer to that question, which is that he refused to ever say which was his favorite.
Sure.
Right.
I get
all my children are my favorite.
I have a good question for this guy.
Okay.
Steve Perry.
Pipes.
The answer is yes.
Just to clear the air because you're in the business.
Kenny Loggins has the board.
Everyone loves Steve Perry. Everyone loves Journey. And they went on without him. I don't know if it's a money thing or whatever, but everyone sort of was hoping he would come back and do it with them. Was it his voice? Do you know
I have
the
an
answer?
answer.
Okay.
Because someone we know, our business manager, used to work with a lot of these acts.
Mm-hmm.
And so you had, I think it was the Commodores, but Lionel Richie wrote the song, so he had the publishing. So like he's going like, I think I'll go over here. He's got all the money. So apparently Steve Perry had all the publishing. And so he didn't want to tour anymore. Once you get a lot of money, you might want to tour a little bit, but not a 3-year tour. So that was what I was told.
3-hour
was a 3-hour tour. Sorry, you saw where it was going. But when you what was your highest net worth?
Steve Perry. What happened? Why did
Steve Perry, because he didn't want to go on the road like that.
I really don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know. I know that he had personal issues. His mother died at the time, and that kind of pulled him out of the band. And then,
what was Steve Perry's net worth?
Let's just
we have to do some Googling after the show.
Okay.
Obviously, Caddyshack was the first big first big soundtrack song we did.
I'm all right.
Which is impossible to get 3. You have 3 that I know of. 3 at least I know of. But Caddyshack, 4. Caddyshack, you don't, like you said, you don't go on the set. People think you're hanging out and singing with the cast. It happens later, right?
Yeah.
And they tell you what? Here's the movie. Do you see it first? Or here's the feel of the movie?
I saw a screening. It didn't have an ending and it didn't have a gopher when I saw the screening.
Wow.
Yeah.
The gopher dancing to it.
The dancing gopher, right? And everybody loves the gopher. But when John Peters made the movie and John said, okay, so this next part, man, this is where we have a gopher come out of a golf hole and dance. It's a hand puppet. And I went, that's stupid. You're going to make that work.
It sounds horrible.
I was so wrong. I mean, it does sound horrible.
It sounds
if you came up with that, they'd throw it out, right?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Well, how about a puppet over here then?
And Bill Murray's going to talk to the puppet. Yeah.
I have Lamb Chop with me.
Right. But Lamb Chop was a star. When you bring Lamb Chop in, I understand.
He made the big money.
So you bring some nobody squirrel.
You should check his net worth.
So this
net worth.
So you write it to the imaginary.
You just wrote the song and they adapted.
Yeah, I wrote a couple of songs for that. The opening song where Danny, the lead character, is riding his bicycle through suburbia, and the temporary music that they had for that spot was a Bob Dylan song, and I thought this is really strange. Why would they be playing a Bob Dylan song showing a kid riding his bicycle? That nothing is happening here, and then I figured that, Dylan is like the ultimate rebel. So why is that going on? What are they trying to tell me? And then by the end of the movie, you see Danny changes his character from wanting to be a part of the country club to wanting to go his own way. So he does become the rebel. So that's where I'm all right, nobody worry about me came from.
Wow, I didn't even put that together.
Interesting. Oh, that's cool.
And they had no ending though. And so you were talking about giving a line away. Yeah. They brought Rodney back out onto the golf course. Rodney Dangerfield.
I tell you, no respect.
And they said, "Give us an ending." And this was who wrote that? You would know that.
Who wrote Caddyshack?
Yeah,
was it Harold Ramis?
Harold Ramis or Dan Aykroyd?
It was Ramis. Yeah, okay. And the great writing and a lot of improvising.
Yeah,
And so Rodney just goes out and goes, "Hey, we're all going to get laid." And that was the end of the movie.
That was the mic drop.
Great. It works. And then everyone starts dancing and they dance I'm All Right, is it?
I guess, yeah.
That worked.
Yeah, okay. So that one obviously a hit. You've got, Top Gun is huge.
You had Heart to Heart, obviously.
Heart to Heart, I love. I heard it this morning.
Heart to Heart. Another with Michael McDonald? Or
Yeah.
That's another
Michael classic. And David Foster. No. Remember that?
Yeah, I've met David Foster a few times. Yeah, he's
great writer.
He's great, right? Yeah.
David and I wrote the chorus in New York, and then when we had that chorus in the bag, I said, "I want to hold the rest of the song for Michael because it feels like a Mike McDonald song to me."
And he was on piano and you were on guitar when you wrote the chorus, or
David was, on grand piano.
Were you playing an instrument or just like guiding him?
Usually, I don't pick up a guitar unless I need to find an idea.
So
but because the chordal thing, the whole piano thing is so much more fluid. Yeah, chordally places.
So when you collaborate and they're playing, you're going that. Yeah. How about over here?
No, not that one. This one. Put that in the bass. Yeah. And so then I went to Encino to Michael's house and I played the chorus for him and I said, "Let's write a verse." And so he just said, do. He came up with that in about 5 minutes. He said, "That's it. Let's do that."
Yeah. And did you I think you said in the book you had David Foster and you had him and you had to pick.
We went into the studio, and because I'd promised that I would never record a song I wrote with Michael without Michael on the piano because he's a unique player. We put David in one room on the grand piano and Michael was in the main room on the Fender Rhodes. So Michael would play the verses and then he would lay out and David would jump in on the choruses.
And it's Michael, when you say unique style, is it kind of rudimentary intentionally? Or how would you describe how, because it is it's rhythmic.
I mean, the way he plays?
The way he plays piano.
Michael plays with his hands apart and his bass line is moving all the time. And David plays like thumb to thumb. So there's these big clustery chords that are real lush and more R&B kind of vibe.
Oh, so there's a wider range in the chords.
It's just a different style. Yeah, Michael's more like that stride gospel style.
Okay. So what about Footloose? How'd you come up with that? Did I skip one?
You skipped Top Gun.
No, but Footloose is before Top Gun, or they're right around the same
Footloose
time?
is before Top Gun.
Okay, Dave.
That was a friend of mine, Dean Pitchford, wrote the screenplay.
Yeah.
And he asked if he could write some songs with me to make sure that he got the deal with Paramount to also be a songwriter, because they only saw him as a screenwriter.
Ah.
So as a favor to Dean, we wrote a couple of songs, one of which was Footloose, one of which was I'm Free. And it turned out to be a favor to me.
And you, at that point, had transitioned into electric, and you were into the Fender, because you have that dong, ding, dong, ding, dong, ding, dong.
Yeah,
that kind of started.
Well, I came up with that idea backstage, so I was sort of warming up on that. But
dong, ding, dong,
I wrote it on acoustic guitar, but I knew that it was going to be an electric guitar part.
And
it's like a Dwayne Eddy.
Do you think Kevin Bacon's danced to it well, or how'd you feel his dancing was?
I think Kevin and all the people that danced to that
pretty amazing.
And if you look at the video, that's not Kevin entirely.
Right.
There's all the flips and the twirls and everything. Most of that
Dana's going to start crying. Dana.
I don't believe you, Mr. Loggins. Kevin Bacon can dance any way he wants.
Yeah.
Should we just touch on SNL for a second?
No. No, because I want to tell him the parody of Footloose that he's heard a million.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But who is the guy? This is the one I heard, and just bear with me, and we'll cut it later. It was been sleeping all night, worked up an appetite. I'm lying on my head.
Like a Weird Al Yankovic.
Mom says, "Get out of bed." I see the toucan. He says to follow his nose. Run fast as you can, follow wherever he goes, because I gotta eat loops, Fruit Loops, one of the 4 food groups. Funny. Milk, please, Louise. Eat the whole box with ease. Funny. Heart attack. Need a snack. My vitamins and minerals I lack. Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah.
I can't believe you got that.
The guy went on before me that and killed. He just put the guitar down and left, and I didn't even go on stage. I can't follow that shit.
Fruit Loops. It's got a good
gotta
hook.
have loops. Fruit Loops. One of the 4 food groups.
Kick
Anyway.
out your dainty. Yeah,
okay, so that's a hit, and was song parodied, and that was a good one. Okay, Kenneth. Before we talk about me
the
again.
Kenster, the
what were you going to ask about
Loginator.
That's not bad.
I was going to ask you just quickly what it meant to you in 1982, if Wikipedia was right, to go on Saturday Night Live as a musical guest. Was it nerve-wracking or
both? Yeah, it's very exciting. You hope you're ready, but because it's live, and the sound is really difficult to make it right on a TV
you must
studio.
go in there and tweak and get scared.
I had my own engineer to be in the room and make sure it approximated the record.
Do you remember what song?
But I did the show a couple times.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. I had one time was Heart to Heart, and I'm pretty sure I did Footloose.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
But I did the other one that was way better, was Fridays, I think that was called.
Fridays, the comedy show that was our nemesis.
Right,
for about a year,
you, Mr.
2 years.
Right. Good day to you, son.
Don't tell Lauren.
I'm sorry, I turned British first.
Now, does it bump the record? That's the idea, right? It bumps the sales.
Well, hopefully, yeah. That it's just to keep the record moving up.
Also, it looks cool.
Yeah.
But it was a status thing.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
Doing Saturday Night Live was always a status gig.
100%.
And you feel if you look back on it, do you feel like you did great each time, or were you coming off going, but did you feel like you killed it?
I felt good about it.
Good. Yeah. And did Lorne say anything to you? The Lorne Michaels, our boss?
I don't think so.
Because he'd be very understated.
I think he was busy.
Maybe he would levitate the room. He'd say, "Oh, it's a nice job. I thought it was breathtaking." No, anyway. Okay, well, we touched on SNL.
Right, we did it. And
that's what the show's about.
yeah, but it's too fun to talk about this other stuff. And book is obviously still all right by Kenny Loggins. But lastly, we'll talk about Danger Zone, because it was obviously
Danger Zone.
Yeah,
I don't know. Do you still sing that in concert?
Oh yeah.
And how is that an easy one relative, because it's kind of raw, or you don't have to reach for the high notes as much?
Well, there are high notes in that.
Okay.
Dana, he's a rookie. So
how dangerous is the zone? It's just a question.
You wrote that down, did you?
There's a little bit of country.
Yeah, he wrote it down. He's been sitting on it all night.
That's not an ad lib. I let the judge and the jury decide. But
have you heard the song "I've Been to the Fruit Loop Zone"?
Fruit Loops. Now I'm going to be singing that all day. Fruit Loops. So, how did that song come about? You got contacted by Jerry Bruckheimer, or did you
record company?
So that was contacted by Jerry Bruckheimer. to see a screening, but I think it was a cattle call. They did a bunch of screenings for a lot of artists to come in. And I was sitting there, I was making a record with the producer, an Austrian producer named Peter Wolf.
Yeah, we do the music. And then Kelly Loggins comes in and he does the music for the people.
God, that sounded nothing like
it's going to be a big smash.
Amazing.
Oh man, I'm 0 for 2 here. Yeah, what are you talking about? Christ sakes, Carvey,
I got no respect around you.
So then you I went cattle call.
I'm going to try and pick up where I left off here.
Well,
I went in for the cattle call and saw the movie, and there was about 6 other acts in the theater.
You won't say who they are.
I knew everybody. I don't remember,
but Aerosmith
was not there.
Oh,
and that. I thought the opening scene with the jets and everything, I figured, forget about it. Everybody's going to write for that. And they got to the middle scene and the volleyball scene.
Right.
And I turned to Peter and I said, nobody's going to write for this. We got to write this one. Because then you're on the album, right? And then you're one of 10 or 12 songs that can be chosen for a single.
That's clever.
But Kenny, do you write? That's so interesting. You write for a scene because they have to put music throughout the movie. So. Yeah. They're trying to vie for the first scene.
I knew that scene was going to need music, and so that's what I went for. So I got Playing with the Boys in, and then while I was recording that, I got a call from Moroder and his office. They said, we have a song we got to dub in Friday, and we don't have a singer for it because I guess the lawyers blew it.
And that was Danger Zone.
That was Danger Zone. So I listened to it, I made some changes, and then went into.
Did they give you a writer's credit?
Well, here's the deal.
Writing credits are tough.
This is actually, I don't think I put this in the book.
Oh, right.
That Giorgio and Whitlock, his co-writer, they were trying for an Academy Award for their music in the movie. Mm-hmm. But if it had to be the same 2 writers. Ooh. So they couldn't add me as a writer. Because that would be one of the songs they needed to get that Academy Award nomination,
4, right? It is in your book.
I thought it was 5, but you know better than me because you're a big movie star.
Well, I read the book. It is in the book.
Okay. Oh yeah. So let's say it's 4 or 5, and then you do wind up with it, or you don't get it.
Well, I said okay, then just give me a piece of the publishing instead of writers. So we, financially we can work it out that way.
Smart.
But then when he sold his publishing company, something got lost in the shuffle.
Oh.
And my name was dropped off the record for about, actually more like 10 years.
So nothing came in just from the publishing on that part, and then it started
nobody was watching the door, right? So I didn't get paid for at least 10 years, maybe 12.
But then you got a credit later?
We had to straighten it out and go through all that stuff, but that's always. But so my name was not on as writer for years.
Does that eat at you a little bit?
The missing money is what ate at me.
Also that someone would drop the ball like that and no one gave a shit.
No one's watching the hen house.
And and then when Danger Zone comes back again on the new Top, I don't know if you've seen it, Dana, but it's a big hit right now.
That's like an amazing worldwide smash. And here you are again, front and center.
Yeah.
And just as a fan, when I watched the movie and then I heard that again, I was like, oh, I was just completely elevated.
It brings everybody right back to that moment 35 years ago.
But it was like
when you guys were just, 5?
I was so young. Dana
Thank you, Kenny. I want to meet your dermatologist, but we'll talk after.
Kenny's looking good.
Yeah, you're looking good. And
all right, we should let Kenny go. I think we covered everything SNL we could.
Well, I just want to know how this resurgence, what has it meant, if anything, just that you're front and center right now in the culture with Danger Zone? Do the people go more crazy when you play it? Like,
absolutely.
So that's just kind of cool, right?
It's back in the Tommy Dowd I worked with on a record. He produced Derek and the Dominoes and a few things like that.
Oh yeah.
And Tommy said, "Success is like a moving train, and for a minute you're in the window and people can see you, and then the train moves on." And so my train is like a Lionel
circle.
It just keeps coming around because now this Danger Zone's back in the window and it's cool again. Footloose went through a period of time where it was just not cool.
But it's such a toe tapper.
Took the groove
when if and when I go to your concert, which I want to because it's great, you're the kind that if I brought a friend that wasn't as 100% familiar, every other song they'd be like, "Oh, he does this one.
No, he did that one.
And
there's
so many hits.
I don't think it's you can suffer from too many hits.
Yeah,
where people go, "Oh no, he also did that and that." But then with music, you have the young people keep discovering it. Yeah. And it's kind of hip. My kids love stuff from the 80s and 90s.
Well, you can see that the whole yacht rock thing is really big.
I want to talk about that briefly. Yacht rock. How do you define that?
Well, I don't. But actually, there was a period of time. A period of time where smooth jazz was influencing pop music, and so a lot of us were leaning in that sort of Stevie Wonder kind of vibe and trying to get things that were a little funkier, a little, more of a jazz groove. And I was working with a lot of the New York guys like David Sanborn and Eric Gale and Steve Gadd and people like that. So, like Heart to Heart is a good example of that kind of jazz, smooth jazz vibe.
And pop rock.
Yeah, a lot of saxophones in that era.
Yeah.
And so I think that the yacht rock thing was kind of partly defined by the guys that created the internet comedy bit on yacht rock.
So it was like wealthy men on their boats.
I'm never sure about that. That's one of the things I hear is like, is it music you listen to on your yacht, or is it if you own a yacht, do you listen?
It might be just more of a concept of just like it sounds cool, it sounds fun, and it sounds like old school hits that maybe middle-aged guys are cranking, which I'm fine with.
Yeah, well,
they all work. Yeah, Dana's one. I'm like a young
version of that. Yeah.
I am his father. We haven't never announced it, but I am your father. I am your father.
I think they're allowed to laugh back here. They've been either they're holding it in or nothing's been funny yet.
So anyway, we haven't really started the show yet.
No,
the book is still all right. The guest is the great Kenny Loggins, who just keeps.
I prefer Kenny Loggins, the great.
Kenny Loggins, the great. And wait, there's more. He keeps coming at us in society, and now Danger Zone and Top Gun and all that, Superhead. And we just thank you for coming on our humble show.
I appreciate it. I'm glad. I'm glad you. When I heard you had one, these kids are good. They're gonna. They stick with it.
I love being called a kid. Can I hang out with you more?
If they stick with it, they just might make it.
Well, thanks, because if you get a chance to see him in concert, it's just great. I would love it, and I'm
going to look at your tour list and just show up backstage one of those days.
Anytime. Work up any song you like.
I'll do Chop and Broccoli. It's a thing I did on SNL. If you got a piano, it's a broccoli.
Chop and Broccoli might be a good collab.
That should be a good. We'll take an intermission that night. You can just step out there. We'll sell merch while you get
the whole crowd leaves.
You can be the opening act.
All right, thank you, Kenny, and thank you, Dana,
Kenny, and David. Once again,
see you next time.
Thank you both.
This has been a podcast presentation of Cadence 13. Please listen, then rate, review, and follow all episodes. Available now for free wherever you get your podcast.
No joke, folks. Fly on the Wall has been a presentation of Cadence 13, executive produced by Dana Carvey and David Spade, Chris Corcoran of Cadence 13, and Charlie Finan of Brillstein Entertainment.
The show's lead producer is Greg Holtzman, with production and engineering support from Serena Regan and Chris Basil of Cadence 13.